here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there was nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the nightmare. But when I stopped to see through sight, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now to try to change into sunshine, to be someone among others. I've gotta try. If I bleed tonight, if I am
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're live here tonight. Daytona International Speedway. We got some high-speed powered stuff going to happen tonight for the Grand National Series, presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. Daytona Beach, USA. We got some mostly cloudy skies at this track, and we're about to set here to do some qualifying here. And as always, man, Joe White up here on the mic with John T. Wimmis. John, how you doing, man?
Yeah, we're doing fantastic, man. Looking forward to this race right here. Watch these guys go full speed around here. Close racing here, so it's all about give and just a tiny amount of take.
Eric, you can roll up.
Absolutely, bump drafting and just drafting in general is going to be the whole ordeal here tonight, like you said. Well, we've got 23 of the bad fast here, guys, at the Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. And we're underway here for qualifying, so we're going to see what can happen here, as anything can happen. It's Daytona, so, well, really, it means star-studded. And if you missed last night's race, folks, boy, that was a wow of a finish and thriller. Awesome race at Iowa with the Truck Series. Awesome there. But let's give a shout out here to our title sponsor, TN Designs, Racing Designs and Graphics there. Check them out. If you need a paint job, check those boys out at TN Designs. They'll get you hooked up. Because tonight, we're definitely going to see some freight train hooked up cars here around this huge 2.5 mile track.
Oh yeah, it's all about who you trust, who you feel like you can run with around here, and see how that goes. But see some guys get left, hanging out to dry. So it'll be interesting, man. It always is from start to finish here. If you pretty much, have a plan with some guys here, and you just implement that and go. But that plan can be ruined in less than 5 seconds here.
Absolutely. And you know what? The biggest thing, we always talk about the big one at Daytona, and I always talk about that at any of the plate tracks, Talladega and whatnot, because it can happen, like you said. I mean, you can be up there riding around. Matter of fact, we just had Talladega this past week at Winston, and boy, their boys put on a thrill of a show. And they had the big one right there with a couple laps to go. Just, 2 cars, guys out front, and they got together, and it's what it is. No hope. You're running, what, 190 some mile an hour in a draft, inches off each other's bumpers. Anything can happen, like you said.
Oh, absolutely. And especially in these cars here, found doing some races here, it doesn't take much for these. You really can't bump draft, too much. You can down the back straightaway here, but anytime these cars are turning, like in the tri-oval here, especially in the corners, you need to stay off of that car in front of you. So I feel like we'll probably see some bump drafting in the corners where you don't want it, and we'll see the end result of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got some good guys out here, a lot of great paint jobs. Like I say, we're amidst qualifying. What you hear in the background is the race director there. Andrew's up in the booth doing all that for the Grand National Series here presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. As if you're new out there in the chat, as always, we do like a unique style qualifying here, the 1x1. That's why it takes so long. So we'll go through all 23 of these machines, get them out there. Some of them might not take a qualifying run, some will. But we do, we got to mention them, the 07 machine. We call him the plate track ringer, so to speak. And we love giving him a hard time. It's Ryan W. Daniels. He's out here in the Gale Toyota. So he's hoping he has a good one. Obviously, Aiden Young's out there, but and a lot of other fast guys. Eric Tess, Tyler Justice, Mike Bruno, Spence Thompson. I mean, the list is endless there. We could go through it all night long, but it's going to be some awesome racing.
Checkered flag.
Yeah, it is, and going to be around here for 100 laps of it. So it'll be nice to see. Of course, they're going to have tons of grip here. Track temp 74 degrees. Night race, which is cool. So looking forward to it, man. I really enjoyed this style racing. It's fun to watch. It's not so much fun to be a part of it, especially when things get a little crazy out there.
Yeah, now don't get me wrong. I mean, I like Daytona, I like Talladega, but I feel like it's just one of those kind of lottery crapshoot style races. It really, I've said it time and time again. Everybody gets on to me about saying it, but I call it really a no skill track. And when I say that, it's not to say that, hey, look, the guys out there suck or anything. It's just to really say that it's not like a technical style track like last night at Iowa where you really had to drive that track. Here, I feel like it's more of where you put the car at, who you're partnered with, and a lot of luck, really, too, like what we was talking about, because avoiding the big one and whatnot. So anybody qualifying, you can qualify in the back and bring this thing to the front. It's been done in real life. It's been done here. So exciting to watch, like you said. Nerve-wracking as a driver.
Checkered flag 69.
Yeah, it definitely is, especially when you're one of those guys you want to start in the back and just kind of ride around for a little while, and the next thing you know, there might be a big wreck, and you find yourself running up front. You don't want to be there, so then you got another decision to make. Do you want to get back to the back again, or are you going to run up front? And it's just really all about luck, man. It comes to stuff like this. I mean, there's a little bit of skill involved as far as how you drag brake, or how you want to draft with a guy, when to bump them. Things like that, and then especially towards the end when you figure out who the major players are, and you have to understand, am I in the hunt for a win, or am I trying to get inside the top 10? And so there's a little bit of skill involved, but the biggest thing with this type of racing, just right there drafting with each other, you're on top of each other the whole time. It's a lot of luck involved. So we'll see who's got the horseshoe.
Usually when I used to race here a lot, man, I didn't have too much. I was one of those guys that loved to kind of maybe ride the middle back, and I'd always find myself up front before it was over with, not where I wanted to be, and then usually 9 times out of 10 ended up being a wreck. So I always had like a good car and just always got caught up in something. And that's the frustrating point about here is, you think you're doing well, then like what you were saying and all, you could just get caught up in anything at any time, and bam, it's over with.
I can't hear Andrew.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, and that's the thing about it here. So, I mean, they get one fast repair. I'm sure that people are going to have to use it. I mean, I hope not. It'd be super cool if they all could just go out there and run this thing green the whole way and have some really cool racing, green flag pit stops. That makes things even more interesting.
114.
But got a fast repair in there, so if you have to use it, you got to use it. But we will see, man. I'm looking forward to it. As I said, it's a lot of fun to watch and call and see the guys make different moves. And, you kind of look at it from this perspective, and you might question what they're doing. And in the car, the guy gets a totally different feeling. So, or sometimes they make something happen up here, and then we're like, wow. So, you can be surprised, on both ends of the spectrum here when it comes to racing at Daytona.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're in qualifying here, and we are at Daytona under the lights here. Huge super speedway. They call it Daytona International Speedway here. The epicenter is what I call it of NASCAR. It's pretty much where a lot of it started here. I know a lot of the teams are in North Carolina, and that's probably one of the growing spots for NASCAR. But here's where you're the epicenter of the speedway. Their Super Bowl, so to speak. They begin at the seasons. They come halfway through the season with this one, and so it is an awesome facility in sight. If you get a chance, I've never been in real life, but people say it is a huge place to go to and a nice one. But we're here for the Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. Xfinity style cars. We call them the B cars here at iracing. So you'll hear me and John use that reference throughout the night several times. And I'm going to get fired up, because in this style racing, I get my groove on with we're going to be 2x2 nose to tail and storming down the back stretch.
There'll be a lot of storming going on, that's for sure. There'll be a lot of beating and banging going on, too. But that's the thing about these cars, too. Is I really feel like if you get a good run down the back stretch, these cars, they do a really good job of drafting, and the car behind another, it sucks up to that car very well. And when these guys, sometimes you have to check up. You can't see. That's the other thing too. And I'm sure maybe we can get a dash view or something at some point in the race and show.
Oh yeah.
Try to give everybody a view of what it looks like, because I did a race there earlier today. You can't see a thing. With the way the back end of these cars are and the spoilers, you're just pretty much following the guy in front of you and trusting yourself and maintaining that position. I mean, I was, dragging brake like crazy, so you just do what you can to stay off of that guy, but you pretty much have to trust who's around you because you can't see anything in front of you. And the other thing is these cars heat up a lot, so we'll see some guys, poking noses out here and there and try to get some air to them, cool them off. Good thing is it's a cool night, so they won't be so bad, but you can't stay tucked behind a guy for, a very long time without that thing starting to heat up.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. You speak of when you're up against one. I noticed that with the Xfinity car here, mostly than I do with the truck. Although the truck can have the same, you're a little higher up with the truck, but here you're a little lower down. And you're right, if you're on the backside going down, especially on the inside, that's why I kind of like sometimes being on that outside if I'm 2x2.
Next to staging.
But if you're on the inside going into the turn, you can't see. If you're up on the back end of someone, you're right, you can't see the yellow line going into the turn. And sometimes, like you said, you got to have trust with the guy in front of you, that because you're basically following him into the turn. That's pretty much, because if you turn too much, you can clip that apron. I guarantee you're probably going to see somebody do it. But that's the thing. Vision is another thing. You've got to trust a lot of guys. You can't see much in front of you if you're on the back end of a person. And yeah, it is tough in these cars because they got some reason it just looks like all you see is a big wing in the back.
88 to staging.
I mean, that's it. You see the bumper cover there, and then the spoiler that they've got, and you can't see anything else. You can't look through the back window to see what's happening, so you got to peek that nose out a little bit. A lot of guys will I go to the left if I can, if that guy's not blocking up the whole left side. Especially going into a turn, you like to be able to know when that's coming up and you time it better, because you don't want to wait till the last second and then have to jerk the car to the left as these things, as the tires wear out. They do like to get a little squirrely with you, and that can happen. And the other thing is, if you've got a car right on your bumper there and you push up the track and he's down on that line, that can really pull him into your left rear of your bumper and he'll spin you around.
Yep, absolutely. You're right on that one. And that's another thing. You got to be very patient sometimes. That is another thing. Obviously from other tracks you might be able to be a little bit of
Thanks, Robbie. It's good to be back. I can actually
aggressive,
see and I'm on my
but
own.
patience is. And what we hear in the background there, I just noticed there, that's Billy Hargrove. We want to give a shout out to him because, man, I'm going to tell you what, you want to talk about somebody that's been through a lot. The man was in a hospital a couple weeks ago. Then he was watching us from the hospital, John, and then the next week watching us from home, and then he was in the car, racing, and he had to step out of there. But tonight, putting it up front, just said he's feeling a lot better and just can talk and see a lot better. Awesome man right there. That's great to see. And everybody doesn't know, Billy Hargrove is the dad of DJ Hargrove.
Yeah, the man's been through a lot. Obviously very, very lucky to still be with us and be in such good health as he is. So it's been a very good thing to see and to have him back and being able to watch the races and then start to participate in them more and more as he feels like it. So just very thankful that he's okay and doing better here and able to talk to him and race with him and all that stuff. So I know everybody's really excited to have him back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I just heard him there because he put it up there on pole. Actually, for right now, he's on pole. Actually, with DJ right there beside him, and he was like, "Woohoo! Yeah, I'm back. I feel better." I just happened to hear him talk, and it's just good to see family members, father, son, especially, get out here and enjoy. We've talked many, many times, John, about sim racing and the aspects of sim racing and the sponsors of it. But man, most importantly, to have your families out here to do it. I know, like my wife, Chase, she knows I love coming in here doing this broadcasting. And she's like, look, as long as you like doing it, go for it. It helps. Everybody knows my story. I ain't gonna go through it, but it's she knows that. So it's good to see family members out here supporting, and I love it, man.
And a lot of these guys, enjoy doing it. They have a lot of families watching, friends watch too. We've got some real sponsors, you know, that people have, they watch as well. So we've got a lot of good guys in here, a lot of great drivers in this league here. So they make racing very interesting. And, you know, as we've seen the last several weeks, man, it's been a lot of fun racing, a lot of, you know, really awesome racing going on as well. So shouldn't be any different here tonight. And the thing about racing here is this can be anybody's race.
And that is the darndest thing I've ever seen right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're like Bradley P. Wilson put it up there on the top side of the pole there right now.
90, you may roll.
So we're getting down here to the some of the other guys here, and I have not seen Ryan hasn't run yet.
He's going to the rear.
Haven't seen I don't know who's left. Tyler hasn't been out there yet.
Well,
So we got quite a few left here to go.
Yeah, and I think the way they're doing it, you get one lap.
Okay, yeah. Well, folks, I say we're under the lights here. Daytona Super Speedway, me and John, we love this time because we can just sit here and, you know, so.
Checkered 99, lap of a 49.89, puts you ninth quick so far.
Had to remind them they're on the live mic. They might get too excited.
Class will be 60 to the staging. Sorry, 62 scratched. Can I get the 75 to staging?
I was looking at some times here. Brad Wilson sitting on pole for right now with a 49.624.
I see that. Absolutely.
Billy Hargrove 49.630. DJ Hargrove 49.642.
Yeah, as I was saying, Billy's right there in second, DJ's third, Bradley's sitting on pole. Yeah, Jared Beasley, one of the newcomers who see, boy, did really well in the ARCA series there. His first night out, well, that's the race you won there. That was just a thriller of a run. He ran it right out of gas with 2 laps to go. I mean, he dominated the whole race. He was at the right place, right time, and got that win that night. That was a wonderful race, seeing that. So he's there sitting in 5th right now. So it's not uncommon. We could probably see a first-time winner here tonight.
Oh, most there, definitely. It's just like in real life, man. This is open to anybody to win here. It's a great thing about it. Super Speedway racing. Just a lot of luck involved. A lot of things have to go your way, but there are a lot of guys that, you know, are maybe getting a lot of practice in, you know, getting better at some of the oval stuff, you know. But when it comes to this, you just put the pedal down and go. So
yep.
If everything works out for you, you can get a heck of a finish out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, right now we're looking good. Daytona style here. What's going on, Eric? Tim, want to appreciate IU, Dave, John, and all them out in the chat right now. Got a lot of people. Appreciate all the viewers out here tonight. I think you're going to see an awesome race. Like with me and John, this kind of gives us an idea through this qualifying here to kind of talk about the race, talk about the track, talk about maybe what we're going to see here, kind of give a perspective of what we see. Obviously, we can't give you the perspective of what the drivers are, even though me and John, you know, we've run these tracks, we've run the cars, sure, but what they might be feeling right now, what they might be feeling tonight, well, that's on them.
Yeah, well, luckily for everybody, all the viewers and everybody else involved, I'm not Ryan Daniels, so I'm not a self-proclaimed super speedway ringer. All right, so I can't tell you what the cars do and what you see, because I did a fixed setup Xfinity race here just a couple hours ago, and started in the back because I didn't want to be up front, and finished second.
There you go.
I could have passed the guy for the lead, but I was like, no way, I'm good to go right where I'm at, and just went on and pushed him because, you know, sometimes you have to make those decisions too. Because we had a big line on the outside there, and just hauling a male pushing him, so I just kept doing it. So anyway, enough about myself and my second place finish.
Hey, you made second, man. There you go. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well,
But,
you know, we can give our, you know, our inside, you know.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of fun, I thought. I normally, you know, I really hate super speedway racing, and I I still kind of do because of the unknowns that are there. You know, you think that you're in a safe position, and something crazy happens in front of you. Next thing you know, you're taken out of a race. But, you know, when you can get up there, you can find guys to work with, and you know how to draft, and you draft well. You can actually carry a ton of speed in these cars, and you know, keep you ahead of people that maybe are not able to link up very well. So we're going to see that. We're going to see guys that latch on to each other and really push when they need to. Still draft very well. You can be right behind a guy. And I learned that it doesn't push as bad. See, this car used to be very unstable here. And since iRacing's done some updates and they've updated the tire model here, it handles so much better. And you don't have to worry about that aero push quite as bad until you get a little bit later on, you know, with older tires. And the way you combat that is you just, you know, drag brake for a minute. Some guys might lift for a second, just a slight little bit, and turn the wheel and get back in it and go. But I really like the way the car drives. You're really going to see guys pushing each other very close to the bumpers. But as I said, you cannot push this car in the corner. If you do, it's going to get the guy sideways. And I've even seen wrecks with guys, they hit them square right where you need to, and it still got them sideways. So you really want to stay away from that at all costs in these cars. And they do draft very well. That, you know, the cars in the back suck up really fast, and you just got to be aware of guys lifting, things going on around you. So it's a lot going on, you know, at one time, and you're going to be doing it for 100 laps. So you got to keep your head on a swivel, man. You can't lose focus.
And you got to look at it too. Like you said, it's Daytona. Everything happens really quick. You got some fast speeds right on top of somebody, like you said. So definitely Daytona here about it. You talk about Ryan W. Daniels. The man sitting there 8th now. He's out there his qualifying time. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb, folks. We always like to pick our, I always like to say we pick our winners up here between me and John. Normally I always go with Eric Tess, but I'm going to change it up, and I'm actually going to go with Ryan W. Daniels tonight. Because last night we talked, and he said there's going to come a time on OSR Network that he's going to win a race. And it's going to happen. And I told him when that day comes, I'm changing the name. So that way it didn't happen. But we got to give him a hard time. But I'm gonna go out on a limb. Then I'm going to credit probably due out there, because I have seen him do some good things in the car. I'm going to swell his head so he can't get out the window. And I'm going to pick him as my pick for tonight.
Wow.
Yep.
Look at you.
I know it. It's awesome.
Yeah. That's...
So who's your pick?
Oh, me. Well, let's see. You know, when it comes to this type of race, I'm like, I want to pick somebody that doesn't normally run up front, because you have some, or, you know, maybe it does run up front, but just not always in the winter circle, right?
Yep.
So I'm looking at the board here, looking at some times, and I think that I think Terry Mason is going to have a fantastic run here.
All right, good deal. There you go. Not bad. Heck yeah. What we know, TMU out there, you're going to pick whoever's on pole or leading the last lap, man. We know how that go. Well, Eric, I picked you last night to win, now didn't I? And you won. There you go.
You can't win them all.
I can't win them all.
I mean, you could, I guess.
Look, I think we're starting to break our announcer's curse on
picking that's why I'm kind of okay with it. Plus, if we do curse somebody, I'm okay with cursing Terry Mason.
Yeah. And I am too. Me too, all right. So, yeah.
And that's a joke between me and Terry, everybody.
Yeah,
He'll get it.
I know. Well, Ryan will too, or he'll be like, doggone a joke. Oh, well, look at old Mike T. Bruno putting it up top right there. Look good. The man dominated last night. Now, it was a heartbreaker. But boy, I'm going to tell you, it was, folks, I'm going to tell you, go back, watch last night's race. It was awesome, man. Mike T. Bruno just dominated that race. And then slowly but surely, he had to deal with Ryan Broderick there at the end. Ryan was catching him. Awesome battle. Caution came out. Then Eric Tess took 2 tires. Me and John thought, wow, 2 tires is just not going to hold up. But, man, he fooled us. Went up there, man, and about beat the doors off of Mike T. Bruno. Mike ran it up into the wall. Caution came out with like 2 to go. Eric Tess pulled that win off, but he drove the wheels off of it. Awesome finish. And I was just like, wow. Because when we say dominated, it was almost like the ARCA race that you won, John. I mean, Jared Beasley dominated that whole entire race, 9-second lead, and then just started realizing he was running out of gas, and then you just closed in like a Jaws and took the win away. So it's awesome, and to see finishes and exciting finishes like that.
Yeah, well, it just fell in my lap pretty much. I mean, 114 there, he had us covered, man. Things happen, but Jared Beasley's going to be in winter circle before long. But enjoyed it, man. We're going to enjoy this race here, and Mike T. Bruno is going to be on the pole with a 49.531.
Yes, he is. Old Ryan out there says, jinxed by Joe. Just great. Ha! There you go. That's what you get. You said it last night. There will come a time. So, prove me wrong, my friend. Prove me wrong. Do good. You're right. We got Mike T. Bruno here. I'll wait for Andrew Canelli to...
He already did.
Oh, he did? Okay, man. Okay. What's going on, gentlemen? Well, we're here live under the lights, Daytona International Speedway. Y'all can hear me, by the way, right?
Sure can, Joe.
All right, good deal. I had my thing off there for a second. Hey, looks like we got a good star-studded field. We're under the lights here at Daytona Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. Want to congratulate old Mike T. Bruno putting that thing on pole again tonight. Man was doing some stellar stuff last night, but well, I'll tell you what. I also want to real quick shout out, hey, welcome back, Billy Hargrove. Man, that is an awesome thing to what you've dealt with in the past 3 or 4 weeks. Me and John mentioned it up here. And so congratulations, welcome back. Glad to see that you're out here. Awesome to see family members run and have fun here as always. But man on pole, Mike T. Bruno's Joe White in the booth. Got a copy?
10-4, Joe. I got you, bud.
Well, I tell you what, bad fast again. Got you out front here tonight. How you feeling about Daytona here under the lights?
Plate tracks aren't my favorite, man. I'll tell you, to be honest with you, but you know, anything can happen here. Just I wasn't sure if I wanted to qualify or not, but if I was gonna, this is what I wanted, was to stay out front, and hopefully I can stay here and bring it home, man. Unlike last night, that was rough, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, absolutely. Talk about last night. That was a thriller there at Iowa. Awesome race, and you did a great job there. It was just a thriller. That's about all I say. Wow factor. So, but tonight it is Daytona. It's restricted plate. It's the unknown here of tracks, and you know, as always, we always got to give a shout out to the ringer of ringers here, Mr. Plate Track Specialist himself, Ryan W. Daniels, which I have picked for my favorite to win, as me and John always likes picking favorites, and he picked Terry Mason, by the way. So, gentlemen, 100 laps here under the lights of Daytona Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine, Xfinity style cars. Good luck, gentlemen. See you at the end of it. All right, man. They're pumped up. We're pumped up. Fans are pumped up out in the chat. People out there is pumped up. I hope your arms and hair ain't jumping up and down. If they are, great. They're pumped up. What do you
Everything's
think?
pumped up. If you still got the shoes that are pumped up, then you're way out of style.
That was Reeboks, by the way. Sounds awesome. You can tell we old. Oh, but I tell you what, it is going to be exciting. Like you said, 100 laps around this monster of a track here. And these some bad fast boys about to get it done. Under the lights, it's anybody's ball game. If you like side by side, sometimes maybe 3 wide, a lot of 2 wide, nose to tail style racing, very close, intense style racing. Not much of a strategy is probably going to play here. It's all about, like you said, who you're going to work with, who you're going to trust, and if you got enough speed and draft with that person. There's, you know, fuel mileage sure could come into play, tires, yeah, could come into play, but a lot of it's going to be, like you said, trust and all. Then you're going to love this racing.
I'll tell you right now, looking through the top 5, I believe we know 2 guys that are going to be working together from the get-go.
Who's that?
Hargroves.
Oh, yeah. That's true. True. Well, and you talk about trust, too. You got to also look, obviously we know, Billy and DJ will work together, quite well. But, Brad, let's talk about Bradley P. Wilson and Mike Bruno. 2 different teams. But, at some point, at the beginning of this race, it doesn't matter. You have to work together. Now, at the end, hey, all bets are off. It's over with then.
I can tell you right now that Brad Wilson in this race doesn't care anything about teams. He cares about what's going to put him up front and keep him there.
Mm-hmm. So, there you go. Absolutely.
That's a man that's hungry for a win here. We know Bruno would love to take this one as well, after the heartbreak he had last night. Just rough deal on his part there, but we know the man knows how to drive. He'll be back in victory lane in no time, and it might be tonight.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I don't know, man, if John can handle another thriller like last night. He might choke on his tobacco, man, or chewbacco, or whatever he wants to call it. We don't want him to swallow that stuff. He'd be in the middle calling. He'd died on us, man. So.
Don't be talking trash about the Copenhagen.
Oh, man.
There's some things people just need in their life, and that's one of them. If I didn't have it,
I don't see how you can do it and talk. That's what I'm saying.
Suffer the consequences.
I don't say you can do that stuff and talk. That's what I'm saying. I didn't have nothing swallowed it or something.
It's an art form.
It must be that I don't have. You already caught me with a cookie and see what happens.
Yeah, you sound real ridiculous.
Oh, well, hey, we're getting pumped up here. We're getting excited about this race here. We got 100 laps under the lights, Daytona International Speedway. It's like I said, John said earlier, it's a thriller to watch, nerve-wracking to drive in. Some guys love it. Now, some guys honestly just love driving these tracks. That's all they do. And, well, we talked about one. It's Ryan Daniels. That's all he does.
Well, it's the only type he does well.
Yeah. So I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, man. Dog.
He's on the other ones, but, know, we saw how that worked out last night.
Yeah, true.
He hit another car at 40 miles an hour and somehow flipped it over.
Yeah, he knocked Pikachu over.
He certainly did.
Well, we always say practice makes perfect. You definitely got to practice all tracks here. And but here we go. We're getting set here to go green flag racing. 100 laps here at Daytona Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. And going to be an awesome one, I feel, here as these guys are getting set here to grid this thing up. As let's go down our gridding order here tonight. It's man on pole, Mike T. Bruno putting it out front. Bradley Wilson starting second. Old Billy Hargrove in third. DJ Hargrove right there. That's a father-son duo in fourth. And old Robbie Buckner sitting fifth. Gerald Beasley, the newcomer, starting sixth. Zach lingering there, just lingering around in seventh. Old Jason Alexander right in eighth. Terry Perry Mason, that's old John Wims's pick for the night. And my pick starting 10th right there, Ryan W. Daniels. As we look through the rest of this field, boy, I tell you, I always say star-studded. Because it's anybody's ball game tonight. You can start in the back, the middle, the front. Doesn't really matter. You can start in the pits. And you can bring this thing to the front. Because that's just plate style racing and how it goes here. But we've got 25 bad fast drivers. Some bad fast cars on a bad fast super speedway. And they're about to ready to put some awesome speed down.
Yeah, I'll tell you right, we got some guys starting in the back here that I look to come up to the front. That'd be David Heiza and Craig Lerman as their teammates in the 62 and 43. They'll be starting third to last, second to last on the field here with David Levine behind them. We know David will try to find his way up to the front there. Ryan Broderick, another one that decided to not put in a qualifying time and start in the back. Find his way with Michael Redding. And we know Michael can be fast everywhere. Davis Richards as well. So, again, we've just got a stacked field here. I mean, any one of these guys can take it. They're all good enough and fast enough. And speaking of that, Ryan Daniels is staring at himself in the mirror saying, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
They do, man. I'm telling you what. We like giving Ryan a hard time. I enjoy Ryan. He's a good guy, man. He's a young kid, got a lot of things, man, left in his life. I'm an old guy, so it really doesn't matter. But he does have a good sponsor out there, by the way. They're Gale Toyota. He actually worked for them at one time. And his Walgreens is where he actually works at now. So, you know, it definitely does have, like, what's say, a real sponsor. And it looks like a couple of these guys are already going to go to the back. Looks like Eric, Tess, and Ryan are opting to go to the back.
Yeah, and is the 88 going to the back?
That's what it looks like too.
He qualified outside the front row.
Yeah, outside. Yeah. Okay. Well, changed that up just a little bit, didn't we?
Well, he might have somebody he wants to work with, so you never know how that's going to work out. Just trying to see what kind of speed he had in the car there, so we'll see how it works out for him. But man, I'll tell you, you've got to give a shout out to this league. All the guys in it, fantastic drivers. Love being associated with them, and the sponsors here. You know, MotorSim Racing Magazine. Those guys, John Baird, Kenneth Jans. They letting us be a part of this, and mainly letting us have fun, man. I mean, you don't see a lot of broadcast companies that joke around and laugh like we do, but have a blast, and it's all thanks to them.
Absolutely, and that's right. You got to give it a shout out on that end, because it is Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine, and another one up front there, Sim Spec PC machine there. Mike T. Bruno's out front. But here we go. We're going to have pace cars coming around. It's going to set sail here and let these machines do their work for 100 laps tonight under the lights.
Yeah, looking forward to it. A restart here is key. This is the thing that you got to be very cognizant of. I have a thesaurus as well, Joe.
All right, good deal.
You don't want to get up there and get too far ahead of these guys, because they get together and they'll just freight train you right there. So you got to have a good restart here.
And that means
make sure you got a car behind you.
That means mindful, by the way, folks. So.
Oh, here, yes, yeah. Education.
Absolutely. Green flag in the air. These guys about to educate us on some speed here tonight as they go off through the lights there. Right past the line, heading off into turn number 1. They are double foul all the way back, 2 by 2. Mike Bruno out front, got the 24 there on the outside. This is what you're going to see all night long, folks. So batten down your hatches. Tell your wife, the dog, and everybody in the house, be quiet. Racing time, Daytona under the lights.
Yeah, look at Tyler Justice here. I don't know if he's trying to get to the back. He's down below that line, trying to move back probably. Let these guys get up there and be a little aggressive. As Bruno's on the bottom. Got the 22 of Billy Hargrove behind him and the 90 of Robbie Buckner.
Absolutely, out front, you got that right, the 24. DJ takes it to the front. Here comes that 114, Jared Beasley. This might be the night we see a newcomer take this one out as Mike T. Bruno falls. These guys are already trying to go 3 wide behind them. Who's that in the middle? That's the 5 machine of Jason Alexander. That was a power move right there to bring it to the front.
A big move right there, very smart by the 114. Stay on that high side and get back in line right there. He's got the 23 of Jason Burgess. A 99 of Ronald White behind him, and here comes that 22 on the inside there. Needs a little pushing help from that 90.
Yes, he does. The 90 back there needs to get a little bit closer to that bumper so he can actually pull that machine up there to the front inside line. Zach lingering back there. They're a little fanned off right now, but boy, I'll tell you what, Mike T. Bruno is all over the back deck lid of that 24, pushing him to the front. Love to see this. Awesome running up front right now.
Yeah, Mike's looking up to that high side right there, maybe wanting to run up there instead of on the bottom. And these cars, you kind of get choked down on that bottom a little bit there. So you can run on that high side and keep a little bit more full throttle, not have to drag brake quite as bad. So we'll see how it works out. Usually takes a lot more cars lined up on that top line to get that thing going. But right now it looks like he's getting a pretty decent push from the 5 there. And now the 24 has got his dad behind him there. Is going to give him a good push here.
Yeah, he does. Right there, Jason Alexander's on the outside. Man, he's right in the tire tracks in the 19 to 114. Looking on the outside also. Got the high line there. Oh, Mike Bruno goes down low, brings the 5 with him. So now we got an inside freight train. And up top, you got 4 cars in a line. Let's see if they can bring that outside to life up front.
Yeah, you got the 35 Sawyer out right there making a move from the top to the bottom. Get behind that 85 of Zach Langren.
Yep, absolutely. Right there, looking good so far. I like what you talked about. We'll get an idea here from the dash cam. That's a good perspective of what these guys are going to feel, see, and how close they are to these cars. About the best representation we can get of what these guys look like and how these cars are reacting around this track. Right now, the single file, riding along with Billy Hargrove in the 22. He's running into 4 spots. They're nose to tail, all in a single file. You got to go back here to Jared Beasley. He's on the outside. Look like he's dropping just a little bit, but that's back there in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th spot.
And unfortunately, Jared doesn't have a whole lot of help back there. Not much going for him there. He's got to have some help on that high side. And there's really no hole, nowhere for him to go, so just left out to dry right there for right now. But again, long way to go, and anything could happen here. You can make up a ton of spots in a lap or two.
Yep, absolutely. Right here, we're looking very good. Out the back deck lid here, Robbie Buckner. He's just looking. He got Zach lingering there on his back deck lid. Right now, these guys are being very, very, like you said, patient, and not getting up on the back bumpers, not doing a lot of bump drafting. They also got to be mindful. We saw last night a lot of net code, so you got to be very, that's got to be playing in the back of your mind here too. Sometimes that could react if you get too close to a guy, and net code just real quick can spin a person out and you never touch them. So that's why right now we're seeing these cars actually, they got about it looks like a hood length between each of them.
Yeah, being very patient, but these cars draft that well. You can be right where you're at and carry a ton of speed. You don't have to get up there and push on a guy in these cars right now. And really the only place you want to do that is right before the tri-oval and down the back straight. You can do it, and that's about it. But right here in this line, as we see the space that they've got, like with the 5, the 24, 22, 90, it's good spacing right there, good draft.
Yes, it is. Right now, awesome draft for being patient, keeping the cars cool, the motors behind them there. Mike T. Bruno, the man out front. You got Jason Alexander running right there in his tire tracks. The outside lanes trying to form up. They're going to see if they can't bring it to the front. I was saying up there now, they had a freight train of the inside. But here comes the 90, 35, 88, and 114. They're forming up here, and they're going to see if they can bring it to the high side and to the front.
That's right. They've got 75 of Terry Mason and Spence Thompson behind them. There's 3 more cars there with them trying to get up on that high side and catch up with these guys. If they do that, they can put some pressure on these leaders up here.
Absolutely, and here they come. Looks like they are getting a good run. Here's to bring Spence Thompson along with them. So they got about 5-6 car draft up there at the top. Here comes the 90. That's Robbie Buckner. He is coming on the outside, coming in a hurry. He's like a locomotive, man, and steam is a-rolling. He's coming to the front. He's going to try to take that first spot away. Billy Hargrove right there in the back, but right now they're side by side, 2 abreast all the way back.
19 and a 5 down here. A little bit more space in there and there on the bottom with those guys, just being very patient right now. Obviously, you don't really need to push it here, but you see the 35 giving the 90 a great push right there. That's a perfect draft. Now the 5 shooting the 19 back up there.
Yes, it is. Good battle here. Top side, bottom side here. Mike T. Bruno's got Jason Alexander. Up top, Robbie Buckner. He's got Sawyer Rott right there in the 35. These guys are battling like it's the last lap. Tooth and nail, side to side, wheel to wheel, as they storm off down the back stretch. Lap 8 of 100, folks. If you don't enjoy this, hey, I don't know what to tell you, because this is awesome.
That's unbelievable. Just 2 by 2, many rows back here. These guys are still fighting it out here, but just being a little patient there. Just set yourself up. You're going to have some, hopefully, green flag stops here, no cautions. And we'll see how that works out. But these guys are just fighting back and forth, outside, inside lines. The outside line is doing a great job of getting formed up, though. It got less space between them than the inside lane there, so they ought to have a good run down the backstretch here.
Yeah, it is. We're talking about side drafting plays a factor here. You're right. 2 by 2 all the way back here. And it is a formed up, looks like dead even on the inside and outside form-wise cars. They shoot off down the back stretch for lap number 9 of 100. Folks, I tell you, this is awesome right here. Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. If you like this, check it out. We got this all the time. The 90 up there, got the 35. Look at those cars jockey around there, John. That's another thing we saw in the race last time. These cars, man, just wiggle. They're trying to get that air, and they're trying to get that draft, but they're moving a lot.
Yeah, they're moving a lot, but also you can get a little side draft here of guys that are gutsy enough to try to do it. And you hope the guy on the inside doesn't move up too much there. But the side draft does play a big factor in these cars now. And that's getting on that right rear quarter panel of the car to the inside, takes that air off, slows them down.
Absolutely. Well, folks, if you don't think these guys are not on the edge of their seats and got that wheel, the 90, boy, he's going to get meet in the middle of the Sammons. They don't watch it because they're about to take it 3 wide up front. But you don't think these drivers aren't got their hands glued to the steering wheels? Think again, because up front, it is a 45.841 all the way back to the 24 spots of 45.7, folks. That's less than a second right there between the whole entire field. Okay, that's the field. So front to back, these guys are on top of each other. Anything can happen at these speeds at almost 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, and you see what happens here, that outside line with what happened with the 90 earlier. The 35 did a great job of checking up, as did the 88 114. But when you do that, you break so much momentum. It takes you about 2 to 3 laps to get it back.
You're absolutely right. And right now, these guys are doing a magnificent job of controlling these cars. But here comes that outside again. He got pushed back a little bit. Robbie Buckner says, I'm not giving up. Seems like when he gets up on the brick wall on the outside, they are double time on the way back. Robbie Buckner on the outside. Mike T. Bruno on the inside. Sawyer Ott's trying to push him down the back stretch here as they come into the line this time. Lap 12 of 100, folks, and it has been a barn burner up front. These guys have been stuck together. They're thinking about going low there. He stays with his dancing partner up high as they come out of 2.
And talking about some guys that started in the back, earlier Ryan Broderick started 20th, worked his way up into 14th position here. So we got some guys starting to make their move. Some of them are still being a little patient. Not a bad move this early on in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Right there. Got guys coming to the front. A lot of patience being played up front there, but, man, it is still a fight between the leader and the second place man. Mike T. Bruno on the inside gets his nose car out front. Got Robbie Buckner on the high side there. Jason Alexander along with him. Sawyer Ott, DJ Hargroves, the top 5. All those guys are just like nose to tail. They'll be switching that position around here every lap after lap. Bradley Wilson there sitting in the 5th. DJ Hargrove, Jared Beasley, Billy Hargrove, Eric Tess, Ronald White. That rounds out the top 10 there, John. What we're seeing is these guys are glued together like glue.
Yeah, they are, and that's the thing. You do this and you got fast-paced racing, green flag action here. Talking about somebody went from the back to the front. Sawyer Ott in that 35 started 19th, and you see him up front here in second, third position here.
Yep, absolutely. He has stayed right on the back deck lid of Robbie Buckner on the high side there. And in his paywall, if he's got the DeWalt machine rolling in that number 35 Sawyer Ott, they are still 2 by 2 coming down to the line this time, Bobby, lap 14 of 100. Good thing about it, normally we see a guy on the outside. As soon as he gets out front, he drops down to the inside. Robbie Buckner has not left his dancing partner. He knows Sawyer Ott's brought him to the table. He's going to stay with him. They're working together extremely well. And the 88 of Bradley P. Wilson's trying to get up there to help him out because Mike T. Bruno just will not give up on the inside that SimSpec PC machine.
And the inside does a great job of fighting back here. You think that outside has a big advantage, but not right now with the tires still being kind of fresh here. Inside lane's doing a good job. Outside lane, it really takes you like 4, 5, 6 cars to be lined up and push on that outside line. But Jason Alexander in that 5, got to give him a lot of credit, as well as DJ and Billy Hargrove sticking with their plan here, being on the bottom. Now they got Eric Teschka behind them.
Well, they do. Eric Tess is able to move that thing up in the 9th spot here. Spence Thompson is sitting there 9th and 8th, now 10th. They're back there battling it out with side by side, 2 abreast all the way back. Robbie's still on the inside. On the outside. Mike T. Bruno on the inside there. Jason Alexander, he's forming the line with him. You got Sawyer Ott up there on the house side. DJ Hargrove sitting on the inside. Folks, they are still wheeling these things wheel to wheel as they storm down the back stretch here at Daytona International Speedway.
You got the 99 of Ronald White diving down on the bottom here. Going to see how that works out. As he's been up top for a little bit, hadn't been able to make up much ground. Spence Thompson still up there. Zach Lindgren at 85, pulling up the back end here of this lead pack.
Yeah, you got right there. We saw Robbie Buckner. He kind of got a little bit off of it, fell back just a little bit. Then he was able to get another run. So it looks like he falls back some, and he's able to storm back to the front. I tell you what, it's like a bunch of mad bulldogs out there fighting it out right now, and it's a good group of them because they are still locked up like glue, side by side, coming down here to the line again. Actually down the back stretch, my bad. And they'll be coming in at turn number 3 here. They are door to door, nose to tail. And you talk about air, these guys are going to have a lot of air. Hope they got the water bottles full because they're going to need it right here after this race.
Yeah, this race right here can be just mentally and physically draining. I mean, it's 100 laps. I did 50 here earlier and my hands hurt. I need to take a little break, man. So it shows you how difficult it is, and to see these guys do it, in real life on, Saturdays and Sundays, it really gives you a good perspective of how they do it. You have no idea how they can race that long, especially with the heat and everything that they feel, as exhausting as it is to do it just here in sim racing.
Yep, absolutely. What are you talking about, man? Taking a break. We almost had to take a break calling this action because it is non-stop, bumper to bumper, side to side, door to door action all the way around here at 190 some mile an hour, almost right at 198 here, folks. Inches apart from their bumpers. They storm to the line this time by will be lap 18 of 100. Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. We're under the lights, Daytona Super Speedway here, plate style racing. Robbie Buckner brings that 90 to the front. Again, has not left his dancing partner, John, all night long. So he's doing a magnificent job in that 90 machine up front.
He's doing what he needs to do. I mean, you got a guy that's such a good partner in drafting, as the 35 has shown. He can push him very well. You don't want to leave that guy. But we're getting to a point here where these guys are going to have to start ducking out and get a little air in those things. You might see some guys swap the position here and let the guy behind that was doing the pushing get up front, and then you push for a little while. But you really don't want to leave these guys yet. Now, later on in the race, all bets are off, and guys are going to be left out hanging out there. So you push a guy to the front, he wants to get to the bottom, and then he leaves you out there.
Yeah, that's boy. I see the 89 almost tried to look on the inside of the 114 there. Thought better of it, got back in the line. That's Spence Thompson back there. They almost got a little dicey to go 3 wide. Still 2 by 2 as they come out of the turn here. All nose to tail wise. Very, very awesome. Just like a symphony playing at an orchestra, man. These guys are playing V8 horsepower down the back stretch of Daytona. Loving every minute of this style racing. I like watching this. A lot of excitement, a lot of drama can be built here. Guys being very respectful right now. Like you said, though, closing laps, though, John, these guys, man, might say, patience and all that's out the door.
Yeah, we got some of these guys back here working together. The 7 of Tyler Justice went back to work with teammate there, I believe, David Levine. And the 43 and 62, as I said earlier, working together. They went from 24th and 25th to 14th and 15th.
Yep, absolutely. These guys, man, are doing it all right now. Got some guys in the back just, waiting around, being patient. Still got a long way to go. We're at lap 20 of 100 here at Daytona International Speedway under the lights. Right now, it has been a dogfight up front. Mike T. Bruno on the inside. He has had his dancing partner, the number 5, Jason Alexander, all race long. They've worked together quite well. The 5 will get up there to the bumper of the 19, help him out just a little bit, and then he'll back off, let that car cool down, come back up there and help him again. Same thing on the outside there as they come across the line for lap 21 here, still stuck together side to side.
And the outside lane's getting a big push over. The 35 leaves the 90 out there and goes to the bottom to lead a little bit, but he's done a great job of pushing, so the 90 can't be too upset with him as he's kept him up front there. Maybe need to get some air into that thing and cool it down a little bit. And we saw the 5 earlier, Joe, go down and touch that apron just a tad bit, and that broke that momentum from the inside lane. Yeah,
it is. He broke it up a little bit. Well, he decided, hey, look, I'm going to try this inside here. The outside looked like it was a stalemate. He's going to go down here. The problem is, looks like now the inside's a stalemate as the 88's up top. That 90's still there and looking good because here comes Robbie Buckner. Says, well, you might have went down there. Wrong move. Boy, the 89's flirting with disaster as he's trying to stick his nose on the inside, take it 3 wide back there.
Yeah, I thought he might have had something there, but very quickly got back in line there. It's a good move on his part, and that's the way it goes here. You got to make split-second decisions, and sometimes you back out of that, and sometimes you go for it. But a little too early on to be pushing the issue here. Oh, and the 88 gets into the 90 and turns him, and we're going to have a big one here.
Ooh, it is the big one. You're right. Wow, that collected a lot of cars right there. That all started up front, and hey, that's what can happen. Very quickly here, we talked about it in kind of the pre-race. Let's go back on the replay. The problem is, it happened up front and right there in front of the leader. So let's watch what happened here. Kind of get an idea. We'll see the 35, he's on the inside there. The 90's up front, the 88's there. They're up there drafting. Yeah, it looks just like, man, the 88 and them got there. And wow, it's the big one on the back stretch. Took a lot of great cars out. A lot of them just spinning everywhere. Hate to see that on their end. Wow. Yeah. And the thing about this track, too, is, John, it's not really a self-cleaning track. Once that thing gets like that, you just pretty much have to hope you can get through it, or it's a tough one.
Yeah, it is. And that's just because of the speed you carry. There's really nowhere to go. I mean, the speed carries you straight up the track there and just keeps you in everybody's way. So that took out about half the field right there. So I say a lot of guys are going to be using their fast repair here.
Yeah, you hate to use that thing this early on because we're at lap 23 of 100. We still got about 3/4 of the race to go when we go back into it here. So you definitely want to try to hang on to it. The problem is yeah. But nothing really was done wrong there. It basically was one of those, drafting deals. I didn't really see anything the 88 did wrong. Gave a good bump draft. That car just like it just stepped out. And that could happen.
Yeah, I mean, the bad thing about it is he got him right when they were still in the turn there. And you still got the wheel turn. You got him in the left rear bumper there, and you just don't want to hit a guy in that spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jason Alexander was a good benefactor, so to speak, of that, because he was able to get through it and look good. And wow, that gives us a time here to calm down, so to speak, because those guys were putting on a very good show up front.
There's a lot of good close racing up there. Hard fought battles back and forth, but a lot of give I saw right there. Just a little incident there between the 88 and the 90 there. Those things just happen so fast. There's nothing you can do about it.
Absolutely. Dog agrees too. We like the dog man being in here. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I just noticed something. Mike T. Bruno's not using his fast fix. Now, miss, is that a smart decision? Because that car is tore up.
Well, it just depends on how long he's got to sit on pit road. With him not using it, that says he might go a lap or two down. Maybe he's expecting some other things to happen. Not going to use it yet as it's very early on in the race. He might need that thing later.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we went about 21 laps without a caution, and these guys did an awesome job. 20 laps around Daytona feels like an eternity. You feel like you've been out here forever. And it's almost like one of the road courses. We talk about road courses. Well, if you like peak antifreeze, that's where they're running at tonight. It's awesome for iracing. Some of the best of the best there. But we'll be at Old Sonoma this weekend for Racing Freaks. So if you like road course action. And then if you like Atlanta Motor Speedway, well, that's ExtremeMotorsports99.com tomorrow night and Thursday night. And then plus, oh yeah, we mentioned Dirt Track, SRA before that. So got a lot of stuff. And also, I'm going to say Daytona for Hardline on Friday. But it could be Kentucky. So it's up in the air. I'll get back with you on a later date with that one. It's going to be something.
They'll pick some. Well, they're probably trying to figure out the setup. So they got one for that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that is what it might be. I mean, I know there's one for Daytona. I know there's one for Kentucky, I believe. So yeah, you might be right. Yep. Well, I want to appreciate everybody coming out, and I hope you enjoyed it. That was an awesome first 20 laps. You see anything out there, anything that we didn't talk about? Because I really didn't. I just saw pretty much everything that we had spoken of before the race. It looked like these guys were just being very patient, using what they had.
Yeah, it's the same thing, man. There's just a lot of guys in the back there that pretty much waiting exactly what we just saw, waiting it out. And the 62 and 43, big beneficiaries here of that is it puts David Heise in third and Craig Lerman in fifth. And, they started 24th and 25th on the grid. So far it's paying off for those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, you talk about the other one there. You got old Eric Tess, last night's winner. I'm going to tell you, folks, if you want to see a thrill of a race, check that out last night at the Truck Series there, presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. That was an awesome finish. Last night, Eric pulled that one off from Mike T. Bruno. And, talk about Mike Bruno. I know he's probably feeling a little heartbroken now. Last night, losing that one last night, and now getting caught up in this one because he had a bad, fast car up there. As like we just said, that one, folks, that was the big one. Took out pretty much half the field. I've seen it happen one other time in a Truck Series where a wreck happened in the front and took out pretty much almost 3/4 of the field. It was just amazing to see trucks everywhere. And you're sitting there just like, wow. So can happen in a split second here at Daytona.
Yeah, it does. And it goes back to what we were talking about, pre-races. These cars are very good at drafting, especially on the entry to the corner. Apologize for the dog. They see something outside, and now they're being annoying. I figured they'd be less annoying outside, but not working. but
They're
the
excited,
cars,
man.
yeah,
They're
I get they're
fans.
excited about something. But the cars really do a good job in the draft, and they suck in, especially in the turn. You would think it wouldn't do as good, but it really does pull up to that car. So the 88, obviously didn't mean to do that. Just in that turn right there, and the car just pulls up to it, and there's not a lot you can do about it. You don't think you're going to hit that guy, but it ends up happening.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, John. We're at lap 26, going to be lap 27 here at Daytona as we're coming down the back stretch. They ain't asked for it, but we can give it to them already. You know what time it is?
It's time for the speed cam.
That's right, folks. We're going to kick this one off with that. So that way, hope you enjoy this one because you're about to see some guys, man, put it to the wind here. That number 5 machine's out front. Good time to do it as these guys are going to storm all 2x2 and side to side on the restart here. It's going to be lap 27 to 100. Like John said, we're going to give you the speed cam here on the start here. Get ready. Caution. Wow. Right, go back. All right, folks, we're back here. Well, I'll tell you what, you saw right there, almost a huge one right there up front between the 85 and a couple other cars up there. But I'm going to tell you what, if that does not get you excited, pumped up, and well, like I always say, the hair rising, man, maybe jumping up and down your skin, may want to get an appointment to the doctor. And I don't know what else to tell you, because you're either dead or you're going to be dead, because this is exciting stuff.
So, if you weren't excited and you're not dead, prepare yourself.
Yeah. That's right, see?
What we had right there was the 35 of Sawyer Ott saw opening between the 818 and the 85. Tried to go through the middle. 818 came down. And, maybe didn't know he was there or put a block on and just collected all of them there.
Absolutely. Well, look who's up front and brought the 07 machine up there to Gale Toyota to play with these guys. Ryan W. Daniels, the build a fire up front, got Sawyer out on his rear deck lid. And old Robbie Buckner, he is loving that outside because he's back up there again and got the 88 of Brad Wilson. He is storming to the front. They are side by side. But out front, Ryan Broderick. We saw him do great things last night, bringing it to the front with the Birdie's Construction Machine of Davis Richards there on his back deck lid. But he goes and leaves him out. He says, I'll go up high here. But now it's 2x2 up front.
Yeah, it puts Ryan right behind the 51 there of Davis Richards. The inside line's got the advantage right here, and Sawyer Ott's got to work with them on the bottom. And Sawyer's been a great pusher there, but looks like he wants to get back out up front.
Absolutely. He takes it out to the front, top side there. He goes in front of the number 32 machine. Davis Richards looking good. Got old Ryan W. Daniels there behind him. He is right there. Probably sitting going, man, I didn't want to be up here this soon. Or at lap 32 of 100. Awesome racing up front. These guys are side by side coming to the line for lap 33 of 100. Put it in the books here for Daytona International Speedway Under the Lights Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. Look at that Birdie's Construction Machine up there looking good. And he's got Sawyer Ott on the outside. I've actually said Sawyer Oat before, but we'll call it by the right name.
And Sawyer's holding his own out there without too much help right now. He's going to have the 32 and the 90 come back to help him. I think that 07's a little bit faster than that 51. The 51's got a little rear damage, I believe. But right now, the 51's just there, so all Ryan can do is sit there and try to push him.
Well, you're right. I didn't notice that. Maybe he got bumped when he did like a bump draft or something.
It's very easy in these cars to catch damage doing that, as well as they draft. Like I said, these guys check up, and then you can't see anything, and you slam the guy, right in front of you.
Well, what that might do to him is like what we talked about. It's going to loosen up that rear end a little bit on the drafting side. And like you said, the 07 probably just a tad bit quicker than him as he's able to push up to him right there. But, Ryan's doing a good job right there on his back deck lid. See if he can hold on to it. He's got Sawyer on the outside. They're still door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel. Well, Ryan can't use the yellow line. Got out of bounds right here. So he's probably ducking that thing down there to get it cool a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit there. We saw 32 duck out of line up on the high side and drop back, and that's because his connection had an issue there. So very sportsmanlike to do that and get out of everybody's way. Don't want to have another massive pile up here.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, boom, let's go to the dash cam and see what these guys see, what they're riding out the front view window here. So riding along with Ryan Daniels here as he is still on the backside. We can see just that little bit of damage. That looked like it hurt the spoiler so much as just a back bumper. So maybe it won't upset that car going into the turns, and the aerodynamics of it's too bad because it looks like it's just a square hit right there. As right now the 51 machine's looking good. He's holding pace on the inside. Ryan's giving a good thing, but here comes Sawyer Ott dropping on the inside. The outside still storming there. They're still double foul all the way back.
Yeah, big aggressive move there by the 35, but you can see from this, onboard view here what you actually have to look at. Now the 35 is below the line. He's got to give spots up right here, and he cannot get back up on the track as he'll push up and really cause a big accident there.
Well, I noticed something when we went by the 35 there. He had damage on the front side and the rear, so maybe he felt that he wasn't up to speed, and being out front might have been more of a hindrance than anything. Right now, riding along with Jarrett Beasley, one of the newcomers here, looking good as he's right there on the back deck lid of the 07 Gale Toyota of Ryan Daniels, who is trying to prove us all wrong about the restrictor plate king style stuff and try to pull a win off here. Boy, look at that 114. He almost got loose trying to hang on to it.
And there he goes. Five just couldn't slow up enough. He tried to back it down. You could tell big time he was just off of that, trying to let him collect it, but just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, we were riding along with him, but let's pull out here and show it again. We watched him there. He got hooked on that apron, and we talked about it pre-show here. If you go down there and catch that apron in the turn, you can almost say bye-bye, it's over with, because it's very steep bankings here. I was watching a replay here. He went down, yeah, he caught the apron, and that car just would not. And then the 5, really nowhere he could go, and then pushed him right up into the 22. Unfortunate. Oh, and Sawyer Rock got involved too. Hate to see that. So yeah, just case if he was down there and the apron hooked him.
Well, looking at the speed, just so everybody knows, the 5 was doing 189, checked up all the way down to 170, and then he gets hit in the rear by the 62, who obviously, you can't see. These guys are checking up big time. 62 gets in the back of the 5, and that's what eventually spins a 114.
Mm-hmm. See, unlike John, I can't talk with a mouthful. I ain't a skill.
Takes practice.
Yeah, I know. Well, I haven't talked to anybody yet.
No, we haven't.
Who you want to talk to?
Well, I guess talk to my little buddy up there in the 51, Davis Richards first, since he's the leader.
All right, good deal. Davis Richards, Joe White in the boots. Got a copy?
10-4, what's going on, Joe?
Well, I'll tell you what. Looks like you got that number 51 machine up front there. How's it feeling? Looks like you got a lot of damage on the back end there. Is that maybe hindering the car some here?
Oh, I didn't even know we had any damage till you said something, but no, we'll put some Bondo on that Burroughs Collision Center, Birdie's Construction, and get her straightened out, and we'll be good to go.
Absolutely. We look good up there right now. You had a good pusher behind you there. So how's the car feeling here at Daytona?
Man, she feels really good. I can take her to the top and the bottom. She's going anywhere I want. She's just pushing a little on exit, but that's given when you're in the draft. But when I got that clean air, everything's perfect with her.
Well, absolutely. Looking good up there. Well, you think you got enough to hang on to it and bring it home at lap 100?
Well, I hope so. Daytona's like a lottery, so you just got to get a little lucky and got to have a little bit of skill. So hopefully we can keep her out front, keep her clean, and be here at the finish.
All right, well, good luck out there. As always, keep that thing together. I guess since we're on the big track, big caution here, long time around, let's get to talk to our restrictor plate ringer, Ryan W. Daniels. You got a copy?
Got you loud and clear, Joe.
I'll tell you what, you look good in that Gale Toyota machine up there. You're riding behind the 51, and you got out front there. Probably not where you probably want to be right now this early in the race, just by going off what you've said in the past. But how's the car feeling tonight?
The car's handling pretty good. You're right, it's not entirely where I want to be this early, but I'll take it any way I can get it. If I can keep it up here, I'll try to. So far, it's been good. Just trying to get used to the new aero package and everything since the update for the car. But so far, number 07 Gil Toyota machine's running pretty strong, I think.
Yep, absolutely. Looking good. I picked you for the race, so don't disappoint, man.
I'll try not, man. You got me as your pick, and I'm running for Aiden Young's points because he couldn't make it due to a storm that he's having up there. So hope my buddy's watching, and if I can get the win, this one's for him, man.
Well, absolutely. Well, good luck out there tonight. As all the guys out here, hey, we're under the lights here, Daytona International Speedway. Good racing so far. It's just awesome stuff. The last two cautions is what it is. Had the big one there early on, but good patience, good running. See y'all at lap 100 here for the Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. Good luck, gentlemen. All right. Big track, we can get several interviews in. That's one of the good things about a long caution of a big track. But those two feel like they got some pretty good cars, rightfully so. They're up front and been able to handle pretty good with them.
Well, they should. I mean, it got Davis came from 17th, leading the race. Ryan from 10th up here to 2nd. So obviously dropped back a little bit there. We want to see how things shook out for him, but finds himself up here now. So once you're up here, you got to go. So we'll see how it works out. Now, Tyler Justice there during our speed cam earlier, I want to mention this. He was up front and then decided to drop back again to work with the 59 of David Levine.
Oh, okay. Hey, you know, folks, we talk about that. You'll hear us say that throughout the race. Guys dropping back, guys going to the front, guys doing this and that. That is a strategy thing, you know, because here are restrictor plates. Most notably, look at Ryan. He was 6 seconds back in the back of the field off the tail end of the draft. And now he's up there going to start this thing in second. So really here, as long as you've got a dancing partner, I know we've said that time and time again, somebody to draft with, you can bring it back to the front almost any time. Obviously, you have to have a straight fendered car and a lot of power and a little bit of driving on it. So you should be all right.
Yeah, that and a lot of luck.
Yes. Well, and you know, Davis actually said that. It's kind of funny, the lottery. We even said that in the beginning of the race. Lottery, because it is like a crapshoot. You know, you're almost like throwing dice out there sometimes. And you just don't know. We've already seen the big one, and it happened at the beginning. And guys were running up front. Out front, actually. So it is an unknown.
And unfortunately, a track like this, things stay unknown until you hit that checkered flag.
Yes, yes. Well, I've seen wrecks right out of the tri-oval here coming to the line, so don't think it's that's one of the things that can happen. We're getting set here to go back green flag racing. Going to be lap 41 of 100. Going to be in the books. You see that pace car is going to duck off into pit road, take that hard left turn, and send these mighty machines a-flying here tonight. Davis Richards, Ryan Daniels there. They're going to get a good run. They are stacked side by side as they coming through the gears, storming across the line this time by. Listen to the thunder of those motors. They head off into turn one of 07. He let them go up there, but here comes Spence Thompson to the inside, taking it to the front.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ryan had a jump on the leaders there and did get across the line before them, so probably hoping if he gives a spot up, he won't be penalized for that.
Absolutely. Well, like we said, even if he gets penalized, well, boy, they are jockeying it up front. Look at Spence Thompson taking it to the high side with Bradley Wilson. Now, they are teammates, and Davis Richards on the inside. He's got old Carl down there bringing the 62. That's David Heiser. He's got the 99 of Ronald White behind him. Let's see if they can do something. Here comes your pick, Terry Perry Mason. He's up there with his big private eye investigating style microscope as they come into the line at lap 42 here. Top side's doing wonders as the inside's trying to get together and bring it to the front.
Yeah, and I think David Heiss is one of those guys. He's a good super speedway racer. We saw him in the truck race at, I believe it was Talladega earlier this season. Come home in second. It's a very close battle there that he had as well, but he was able to stay out of trouble, started running up front and stayed there. So probably looking to do the same thing here.
Absolutely. Well, it is door to door, side to side as they storming down the back stretch at a huge 190-some mile an hour, folks, inches from each other on their bumpers. Heading into turn number 3 as they storm out of turn 4 down to the tri-oval. It's going to be lap 43 of 100 here under the lights of Daytona here for the Xfinity Series style Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. B cars, like we say. And look at the champ in the truck series. Up front, Spence Thompson. He has taken that outside lane. He's trying to take it home. He's got his dancing partner, actually his teammate there, the 88 of Bradley Wilson, pushing him down through the wire.
And just give you a little update there. Mike Bruno, involved in that earlier, he's running 15th right now, so not far behind. He's about a second and a half behind the leaders here, so just behind this lead pack.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything can happen. He can still bring that thing to the front. It is all single file on a freight train, 3-car breakaway up front. You've got the 89 there with the 88 machine behind him. So you got 89, 88, 75, almost in a systematic order. That is awesome. So right now, but look at Davis Richards. He's still on the inside. DJ Hargrove's been able to hold that high side with him. Right now, it's about a 5 cars on the outside. It seems like, man, they're struggling a little bit on that inside lane here. But you're right, that outside's where it's wanting to be. Actually kind of unique to see the outside holding like we normally do. Usually these guys would want to prefer that inside lane.
Right now you got a lot of good guys on the outside that are just formed up a lot better, pushing, as you see, that 89, 88, 75, 24, 43, and 90. And the 85 behind him, just a massive line of cars on that outside lane. Helps create a ton of speed and getting through there. The inside line not really formed up very good. Not a lot of help for that 51 and 62 there.
Yeah, it is. Look at that 43 Craig Lerman right there in the 8 spot. You know, we talk about 8 spot, and some people say, well, that's far back. But, folks, look at this. They're nose to tail. I mean, the top three are not split up by almost a second between them, and it is just that close. The difference, obviously, almost about a half second separates the top half. Here's a 51 fires back on the inside. He is bringing David Heisen and company back up front. Good shot here as we're riding along with DJ Hargroves. They storm down the back stretch here at 190-some mile an hour. 196 is what he's hitting. Let's see if he hits 9. He almost hit 197 before he hit the turn there. The outside lane, though, Spence Thompson going into turn 3. They're still double foul.
And the inside lane getting formed up with 3 cars. Now the 24, DJ Hargrove comes down to the bottom, so helping them out. Leaving 3 to the outside. Now you got 5 to the inside.
Yeah,
and the 96 goes to the high side.
Oh, boy, they are just picking their spots, man, and putting them down right now. Like you said, it's a chess match up front at 190-some mile an hour. You ever played checkers? Well, I definitely wouldn't want to play checkers this way because, man, you're working with 3,400-pound machines up here that can be very deadly and dangerous. Right there, you said it. They're side by side. The 24's looking good. Here comes Eric Tesh on the outside. He's helping the 75 and Bradley Wilson and Spence Thompson up front.
And that 62's wishing that 99 and 24 would get together and get up there and give them a little push. Jason Alexander on that bottom, they're trying to get up to them as well. As they need a little bit of help on this inside lane.
Yeah, they did. Well, the inside lane, and unfortunately, DJ Hargrove's got some damage. It might be hindering him on trying to draft up there. That damage on the back end of the 51 might be hurting him a little bit. As David Heisen, the 62, he might be thinking, man, I'm in unfamiliar territories or water, so to speak, up here, and there's a bunch of sharks up here. I'm getting a little nervous here because I look like a little steak dingling on a string because these guys, man, are storming up here, and they are bloodthirsty with these cars storming down the back stretch. Spence Thompson still the man out front, the 89. He's got Bradley P. Wilson on his back deck lid in that 10 Designs car pushing. And look at old Terry Mason. He's still been a hold on that high side.
And the other thing the high side has going for him is those cars up there don't look like they have any damage. The 51's got damage on the rear. 62 has damage on the front. The 99 looks clean, and the 24 has damage on the front.
Yeah, absolutely. Right there, they are still 2x2 all the way back here. Double set, double time as they storm out of the turn, coming to the line. It'll be lap 49 of 100 here, folks. Spence Thompson still out front, but he's got Davis Richards on the inside. They go down the back stretch here, coming to 3. He's still got Bradley Wilson helping him on the high side. He's not left that man out to dry. Probably won't. Their teammates here working well together. Usually you'll see a car up front dive on the inside, outside to keep them behind him. He says, no way, no how. I'm going to stay up high with my partner.
The inside lane is starting to get formed up here. Just like I said, it takes a couple laps to get your momentum up. You catch that draft and it just slowly pulls you in. And we'll see the 5 catch up to the 24 here, and then the 818's behind them. But he's got some massive damage on that car. So the inside lane, not quite as powerful as they want to be here. And the problem is that 62, if he gets up front, is just going to cause a big, massive stop to this inside line. So the best thing he can do is stay behind that 51 and stay in that draft and just push.
Yeah, it is. But if we look back there in the back ever so slightly and so closely, it looks like Mike T. Bruno and company's bringing that second pack up to the front there a little bit as they are all formed up single file on a freight train, and they're trying to run down this double file pack up here. That's all the way back to Ryan Daniels, which is all the way back to the 14th spot, folks. So from 14th all the way to the front, it is 9/10 separating them. Well, that is awesome to see because that is nose to tail, inches apart from each other. Spence Thompson still the man out front, up high. It's got Bradley P. Wilson right behind him as they come out of turn number 4. This time by again, come out of down the back stretch, turn 2. That's going to be lap 51 of 100 this time by.
And inside line losing a little bit of momentum here again as the outside line is just very powerful here. But you got to, tip your hat to the 88 there, Brad Wilson doing a magnificent job pushing that 89 to Spence Thompson. Terry Mason right there behind him with the 96 Eric Tesh. Those 4 cars right there are just doing a tremendous job of pushing. The inside lane comes back a little bit, but they're just not close enough to make a big move here.
No, they're not. I said the 89 is still up there. Well, the 88 thought about going to the inside, but he said, you know what? Teammate up here. We've been able to hold these guys off up here up high. I'm going to stay alone with old Spence Thompson up here for a while. Still a little early for that as we're past halfway point here, folks. So it's not quite time to get going. I would say 10 laps to go is when you really start mixing it up here, because it is a huge track. 2.5 mile super speedway, Daytona International Speedway that is, under the lights for the Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. And look at that 51 get a power move and head to the front.
It gets a good push every once in a while. That 62 gets right up on his back bumper, as we saw him do here just a little while ago. Get back up closer to him here. And the 62 does that. It looks like it gives him a huge push, but then the 62 stalls out. It might be because of that damage on the front end.
Absolutely. He was able to get up front, and the damage is actually, I'm like you, I think it might be hindering him a little bit as soon as he gets up front, but that 62, boy, gets a good push by the 99. Those guys are getting awful racy on the inside. They are still double set. What is impressing me the most here, John, is they're holding it and being very patient up there doing what they're doing.
Yeah, well, at these speeds this close together, you have no choice but to try to give, or you're going to be in a wreck quick soon and in a hurry. So you got to take it easier. I believe that 99's got a lot of speed as he's got a clean car. We say we got 2 damaged cars ahead of him there, but there's really nowhere for him to go.
Absolutely. Well, you got that David Heisel right there behind the 51. He's got the Carl Body Shop, and he's looking on the back end of that 51 going, hey, look, I can fix that if you can just let me give you a little time. But right now, he's trying to fix him and push him to the front. Look at the 51. He gets a good run. He blows right past the 89 there, so the inside gets a good run. But I'm going to tell you what, probably be all for naught as they head off into turn 3. This time by, you see the 89 of Spence Thompson fire. Well, I'll say that. Wow, they go 3 wide.
Yeah, the 51 shoots up to the high side there as he saw the move that they were making, so the safest bet for him was to go high. That 99 takes the spot away from the 62 there. Looked like he had to go below the yellow line there, but I don't think he had made a pass. Got back up on the track there, so now we got a clean car up front. Got the 62 with front end damage, the 24 behind him. Eric moves to the bottom lane here as he was just stalling out on that top line.
Absolutely. We got the 99 right there on the inside. The 51 says, I'm going to stay up here and try to run this high side. It worked for them guys for so many laps. Let's see, man, if Spence Thompson now will actually do it. Well, as I say that, then he dives down the inside.
Yeah, right now I think the 51's just trying to figure out who he wants as a partner right here. And right now that 99's giving him a good push there. He might want to stay on the bottom. You know, just trying to stall everybody's runs out here. See how that works for you. Get something to keep in the memory bank for later.
Absolutely. Well, to answer your question out there, Bob, they can either take optional repairs or use the fast fix. So almost like real racing. Them guys, optional repairs, they go in. iRacing will try to beat out the best they can on the fender. Or if they use a fast fix, they get an actual a brand new spanking car. Problem is you only get one of those, so you better use it as needed. And here we seen the big one earlier on, so a lot of these guys have had to use that. They got to be mindful of it. Right now, though, the 51 is storming on the inside. He's got the 99 pushing him. Look at that run, though, on the outside. The 89 and the 88 are hooked up and are screaming demons coming down the backstretch.
The 88's just done a great job of pushing right here, but you see what kind of learned from that earlier. You don't want to be pushing a guy through the turn here, so back off a little bit, drag brake. Just stay in position there. And the reason you want to drag brake instead of lifting is lifting breaks your momentum. If you drag and brake, you're still keeping your RPMs up, but you're just slowing the car down just a touch, but it doesn't break your momentum.
Absolutely. Well, I agree with you on that one. I normally used to drag the brake. I kept it to the floor. I would just tap the brake and let that slow the car down. Never would lift. I'm not like you. Don't lift this thing. Could kill the momentum. Right now, good momentum on that high side as the 89 of Spence Thompson still been able to hold up there. He's got that number 88 of old Bradley P. Wilson, his teammate, on his back bumper glued to it, and definitely is trying to do it. The problem is that second pack back there, now they're getting racy, and they've lost some a little bit to this front pack, which is still double foul and have been for the past, I'm going to say, almost 10 laps now.
Yeah, that pack back there, the best thing they can do is get in the line, obviously, and try to catch up here. But, you know, if we have green flag pit stops, that's going to change everybody's strategy. Some of those guys in the back will find themselves up front. You never know what's going to happen here. So, really, the benefits to the guys on the inside lane, if they decide to come in, the guys on the outside lane would just be stuck there, have to make another lap.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just been a swapping battle up front between Davis Richards and Spence Thompson on the outside and the inside. As right now, Terry Mason, he is still on the outside. Look at the 43 there, Craig Lerman. He fires on the inside. Eric Tess got to be mindful of it. He's right there on the back set of the 49. Here comes Robbie Buckner up high. And that 5 car, Jason Alexander. These guys love the outside lane, did wonderful things before. They're still 2x2 coming to the tri-oval this time for lap 58 of 100. I'm going to tell you what, it has been an awesome race so far to call. A lot of excitement, a lot of non-stop excitement these guys have done. And if you don't think, folks, their hands are not glued to these wheels, because anything can happen at this point.
Yeah, a little white knuckle action. Every once in a while I have to remind myself to not grip the wheels so tight and stretch my hand out a little bit like you see those guys do on Sunday, but not trying to compare computer racing to that. But you do grip the wheel pretty tight, as it is really intense right here, and you don't want to make a mistake. But saw the 99, look at him go back down to the inside line. He's just trying to go where the momentum is right now. Thought he was going to stay high and work with those guys. Their cars are a little bit cleaner, and he saw how good the 88 was pushing there, but maybe he feels like the inside lane would be faster for him.
Absolutely. He chose to go to that inside, like I said. He's taking Davis Richards with him, but that high side still locked together, man. Nose to tail, wheel to wheel, the 89 to 88. Bradley P. Wilson right on the back deck lid there of Spence Thompson as he got them on the high sides. They're storming out of the turn here, shooting it off down into the back stretch. As you got on the inside, 99 of Ronald White. And he's got the 51 there, Davis Richards. Now they coming down the bad stretch here. Some Mad Hatters coming down there. Them boys looking bad evil here under the lights at Daytona International Speedway.
Yeah, we still got that line of the 89, 88, 75, and 90 here working together. Those four cars have been up front here the whole time. We got the 51 still up there, the 62, 24, 43, 5s on the outside here. So a lot of these guys have been shuffled around a little bit and find their way back up here where they were before. Oh, and a big move right there. 88 moved down to the inside lane, almost pushed the 99 off the track. 99 had to break momentum and use that apron a little bit to avoid getting some damage.
Absolutely right there. Still a good one. And now look at that. The 89 of Spence Thompson and the 88 of Bradley Wilson, they go to the low side. Let's see, there's an old 88's on the apron. And that didn't work out. Ouch. Wow. Well, that's twice we've seen the apron kind of bite somebody, and another big one here. John, well, let's go back on the replay. I was watching that one kind of live. Looks like the 88 was trying to hang on to it. The problem is, and another car right there on this inside. So let's go back on the replay here. Check that again. Just let the viewers see it. Hate that, but I was just saying, they went to the inside. They were on the outside there. Terry Mason was coming up through the field. Yeah, he got a good push from the 99. Went on the inside there. Oh, and the 5 got clipped. Oh, Eric Tesson involved. 24's involved. Oh, like Ryan Daniels might. Well, no, Ryan. Just stop. Good job.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the 5 of Jason Alexander. He really didn't get clipped. What got him was net code.
Mm-hmm.
There was a huge amount of space between him and the 99. Got him sideways and then getting hit. So he was actually good to go if it wouldn't have been for net code.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a big one right there. But still, my hat's off. These guys have done a magnificent job here tonight. Let's get a quick summary, though, of what we got. So we're in lap 60 here of 126 lead changes. Boy, that definitely tells you we're at a plate track. Only 3 cautions for 8 laps. So not a bad one. Typical here. Daytona. Gotta love it.
Yeah, it's just hard to see if, if Brad Wilson got loose there, or if he had a little help from behind. You just don't know. It was very, very close to call right there.
It was. Well, either way, once he got on that apron, we've seen it before, and we probably will see it again. Once you get on that apron, it's almost a done deal. You're pretty much going to have to just give it up, let that car coast, and get out the throttle, and just take the loss on positions, because if you try to fight that thing too much, guess what? You're going to either spin it out, probably come back up the track right there, and it'll be all she wrote.
Hey, it doesn't take much. You see these guys racing in these big groups like that, man. It's just nothing you can do about it. You can grab brake all you want to. A lot of cars get taken out in other people's incidents, but that speed, there's not much you can do about it.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Want to appreciate all the viewers out there. Hope everyone, man, here tonight is enjoying this one, as it's been one heck of a race. I always say bad fast drivers and some bad fast cars on a bad fast track. A super speedway track, that is, Daytona International Speedway. Here under the lights, Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine, and it has been a thriller so far.
Yeah, I think they've done a great job, man. It's been another good race. I mean, this is Daytona. Things are going to happen. And there's split-second decisions here, and might push a little too hard. You just didn't think you were, but you know, that's how it works out.
Yep, absolutely. Well, you're right here. So there you go, folks. Daytona Beach. I mean, it's some mostly cloudy skies here, so it's been an awesome race. I really kind of enjoyed it so far. These guys have done just a wonderful job as far as driving goes. And we was talking about Terry Perry Mason earlier. He's got a little damage. He's going off on the pit road. He probably will take some optional. At this point, a little early, I would say, if you had a fast fix to take it, because as much as I'd like to say we won't see another caution, well, we're getting close to what I like to say that business is starting to pick up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we come around to 64 of 100 here. I mean, if you got one, you're going to have to use it, because you never know. We may not see another caution, and you're holding on to it and wind up finishing in the back there when you could work your way back up front here. So we'll see. Some of these guys probably use those things up. And I'm wondering if the 19 has used his yet.
Yes, he has.
Oh, yes, he did. Yeah.
And that's another one that he's going to just hope now. Well, I'm back up front here. I want to stay clean. Probably going to just be a little bit mindful because, well, you know, he doesn't have one. He gets caught up in another wreck or bump or anything like that. He'll either have to use optional or hope he doesn't get tore up too bad.
And the mindset that the drivers need to have now, this stage of the race, is just be extremely patient, run where you are. See who's going to work well with you, see who's a good pusher for you to set yourself up for the end of the race, and that way you got about 15 to go. Identify who the players are, who you need to be working with, you know, and where you should finish. If you're in the top 5 or 6, 7, you got a good shot of making it. You can get some people to work with you. If you're behind those guys, you know, your goal is, you know, pick off, you know, one spot at a time.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate everyone out there, and we must have them at all. These guys or drivers must be, or they're just all out there in the chat watching going, wow, this is exciting, because they haven't really spoke a lot out there. And so it just must be an intense action for them as much as it is for up here in the booth.
Well, this is the type of racing that it's exciting. You know, I enjoy it. I like calling it. So,
oh yeah,
I really likes to watch it. And
you're about to get hit in the head with something.
Yeah.
Sound like some fried pans back there. That's what I'm saying. You either about to have some good cooking, or somebody about to throw something at you.
No, it's somebody else making something.
Oh, my bad. Oh, tell me you need something, man. You hungry?
Well, unlike yourself, I eat after the race is over.
Oh, well, you already got chewing tobacco, so there, you got the skull. There you go, yeah. It keeps you occupied.
It's better than nothing.
There you go.
Speaking of which, I'm going to let you take it away while I grab this can.
There you go. Good deal. Well, we are heading into turn number 3 here. We're about set to go here back to green flag racing. Going to be lap 65 here, 100. Daytona International Speedway under the lights, folks, here. Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. Old Spence Thompson's been out front for a while now, and he's hoping to stay out front and bring this thing home here tonight. Got old Robbie Buckner on the outside, and he's got his buddy right there, Mike T. Bruno. He's right behind him. We know he's got a bad, fast car, so pace car's going to take that hard left turn on pit road. Here we go. Pace car's in. Green flags in the air. Lap 65, and we hear these machines come to life as they storm past the start-finish line. thunderous sounds. They head off into turn 1. Spence Thompson gets a good jump. Mike T. Bruno wastes no time on saying, I will take that back. Heads off to the inside. Got Carl's body machine of David Heiser on the tail end. And look at Mr. Evil Knievel, Michael Redding. Wow, coming out of nowhere here. Looking evil under the lights. Up front, though, the 19. Boy, he is hoping to have redemption from last night. Michael Redding, though, is another one. Hey, this guy's not going to waste no time in that tube machine.
No, he doesn't. And with Michael Redding, there are no friends on the racetrack. The man is all business right here. I saw him go up there and get real close to that 90 there, but doing a great job tonight, man. That is another one I expected to work his way up here, but, man, talk about that restart. Bruno was just all over it.
Yes, he was. Mike T. Bruno said, look, I've done felt the blood in the water, and I want to take it home. Right now, he's got company on the inside. He's trying to hold it. That outside lane, though, all night long. Robbie Buckner and the 90 machine. They got Zach Klinger in there with them. And the 85, they are forming a freight train with the 99 of Ronald White. And look at that. Ryan W. Daniels is up there on the high side, so we've got some good heavy hitters on the outside. They're dicing around in the back there, trying to find the right place they want to go. High, low with a dancing partner they need. Looks like the high side's a place to be right now. So 19 just cannot get a run. He needs that 62 to tuck up on his back deck lid.
Yeah, they need a couple of guys from that outside lane to come down there and help them out a little bit. You got 3 cars, versus these 6 or 7 that's on the outside line. That's going to be a tough task.
Absolutely. Well, look at the 99, or the 89, excuse me. He's been out front most of this race and loving every minute. Let's get a high blimpy shot. That's what I like calling it. And see what these guys look like here from a far-off view. As right now, the 89's out front. The 90 boy goes up there. Looked like he almost tried to bump the wall. He is trying to use every bit of the track he definitely can. Right there, good shot as we see John storm off into turn number 3.
Yeah, big moves right here by the inside lane. It's odd how the inside line comes back and forth, man. They'll get the edge there. See the 19 slide up in front of that 89. Now you got 3, 4 super fast cars up there on the outside lane, and see how that works. David Heiser go to the front on the inside lane for the first time tonight, and got that super fast 2 of Michael Redding behind him.
Yes, he does. Michael Redding, like you said, no friends, no fear, Evil Knievel, and he's definitely evil in that machine in the number 2. He is storming to the front, taking a 62 with him. That's Carl's body shop there. He says, look, I'll push you for a while, but after a while, I'm taking it to the high side. Probably right now on the back side of him, though. Oh, and he's going to get mustered in the middle there. Because, oh, look, Mike T. Bruno's right behind him.
And the 2 was trying to go up to the top in front of Terry Mason. Nowhere for him to go. Got to hang out in the middle right now. Bruno's trying to shut that door down on the inside there so he can't come back. They want to leave him in the middle, but he's fighting back hard.
Yes, he is fighting back. Got to be very patient, very careful here, because it's a very dangerous territories of the water. Because of one false move, he could take half the field out again. Mike T. Bruno understands that, even though he wanted to slam that door like he said. Could he afford to slam the door right now this early? He might be better off to say, look, go ahead, go on down there. I've seen this scenario play off early off in the race.
Yeah, but the 2 did a great job there when he was in the middle, getting close to that 62, keep him down to the line, side draft him a little bit, slowed him down, and he was able to catch a little bit of a draft there and push him back up in front of that 75. Shoots in front of the 62, they make contact, but they're going to keep going.
Well, I'll tell you what, we usually call number 7 Mr. Excitement, but you get Michael Redding out front, it is all or not. This guy is heavy metal pedaled up front and looks good. He's got Evil Knievel in that car. He feels like it. He thinks that, hey, I'm the man in charge. You ought to have seen him in the Cadillac cars. It was awesome when he was out there running in Daytona that night. Guy, man, did wonderful things. Right now, got it on the inside with the 2. The outside, Terry Mason trying to bring it up there. He's got an awesome dancing partner in the 89 and Robbie Buckner. Mike T. Bruno's going to get back up there. I got a feeling in the back of Mike's mind right now, he's going, I know Redding. He's a little bit more of daring than I am right now.
He's a wild one.
Yes, he is. Oh,
can't be contained.
It looks like Zach Klinger blinking a little bit. That's definitely not what you want to see.
Not at these speeds, you don't.
Man, that close.
That 75 doing a fantastic job on the outside lane here, getting a good push by the 89 and the 90. And I believe Terry in that 75 got a little bit of damage on that right front on the splitter on the bottom.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But right now he's keeping that high side going. Folks, you don't think it's not nerve-wracking up there? Don't tell these guys it's not. Don't tell us. We're up here looking at it. And I'm already nervous because right now Michael Redding's up front. He's taking Evel Knievel on the inside to storming down the back stretch. They're side by side. They're coming in here two abreast to turn number 3. He's got the inside rolling there, but the high side is still fighting on the high side there with Terry Perry Mason. The 89, they are still side by side and 2 by 2 coming out of turn number 4.
Terry Mason up to the front now. He can pick a line right there, but the 2 fights back on the inside. And Terry may want to stay up there and work with that 89 as he's been getting a massive push. And he knows that 89 has been up front pretty much most of this race. So they got a good partner behind him.
Oh, you're right, absolutely. Well, you just saw right there, John, I don't know if you caught that. The 2 machine went up there and kind of got a side draft on the 89.
Yeah, Michael Redding has no fear, man. He'll make some things happen out here and do some things other guys aren't willing to do. And side drafting is part of super speedway racing, and it works. You see him do it to that 89 as they were getting it run, and it slowed that run down just enough for him to get back down in front of that 62 and get some massive push right here.
Absolutely. Well, you guys out there talking about the Cadillac racing. Yes, these guys will have more of those IROC races. Actually, we've got one coming up. I'm not 100% sure of the track, but we definitely will have some more of the IROCs here. They call it their IROC series. It's once a month with the Cadillac machines. Last month was with Daytona. Right now, we're at Daytona under the lights for the Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. And these are the Xfinity cars. We want to talk about nail biting, tooth and nail right now, door to door and wheel to wheel and side to side. These guys are definitely doing it. The only thing flying, man, high on these cars is hopefully the lug nut staying on them. Right now, the outside lane, Terry Mason is firing on all 8. He's got the 89 of Spence Thompson right there on his back deck lid.
And you see what happens right there where they get a massive push when they have those 3-4 cars on the outside. When the 89 90 get together and that 85 gives the 75 a big push, then they have a lot of space created between them there, and that comes from not trying to run into the guy, but the car will also start pushing just a tad bit as the tires wear out there. So they get a space created, then they got to get back together and get it back in there again. And then all the way to avoid that push is to really drive it in there a little bit harder, a little bit more wheel into it, but you take a big chance of that thing getting loose with you.
Absolutely. Well, to answer your question out there, Bob, if a guy blinks in front of you with these speeds and you're that close, hang on and pray. That's about the best thing to do because really not a lot you can do. Hope you don't blink and be right inside of him because guess what? You're usually going to end up in a bad situation for you and him. And any other track, you can't actually lift. Here, you definitely don't want to lift. You lift, you're going back like a rock in water. Right now, out front, Michael Redding, no, there is no lift in that, man. He says, I got the pedal out front in the radiator if I can get it that far. Terry Mason's going to try to split the middle up front.
Yeah, I just thought about putting a block on right there and realized if he did that, they'd probably leave him in the middle. So he goes back in front of Spence Thompson at 89. That's probably where he needs to be as he's been getting a great push from those guys as the inside line just cannot seem to get formed up here.
No, they can't. The inside line just cannot get the momentum going as the outside line is right there. But right now, still 62's trying to do all he can to help him out on the inside. 75 of Perry Mason. That's Terry Mason, excuse me. But he's got a whole back deck lid of pushing from old Spence Thompson as they head off down the short chute here as they're coming off the lap 76 of 100.
Spence did a great job trying to stay off him. Had that bumper right up against the right front of Terry Mason there, but drove enough brake and probably had to lift just a tad bit there to stay off of him. That could have been really bad. But the 62 here really just needs to get up on that too and just push like he was doing earlier when that 51 was up there. And Mike Bruno in that 19 trying to get up there, but just can't get any help from behind either.
Well, it seems like it's just like a brick wall. As soon as you get up front, the car just like stops right there. Look behind him, though. Mike T. Bruno, I got a feeling, is just being very cautious because he knows anything can happen up there, and it's only going to take one thing and take him right out of this race. Right behind him, though, looks like he's got the 818. That's a Derek Robinson's been able to pull that machine back up to the front and looking good. So we've got a storm of a pack of cars here, John, all up front, and they are nose to tail, inches apart from each other.
Now look at that too, go up and get some more side draft there. He's not afraid to do it every time on these straightaways here and slow those guys up a little bit. And it is working. As you can see, he's getting a good run on them pretty much by himself, just from that side draft.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, right here, old Spence Thompson still on the outside. He is battling hard. He is definitely trying to hard charge to the front and stay up there. Right now, Terry Mason's taking the high side lane. And on the inside, Michael Redding, like you said, the number 2 here is looking good. David Haas trying to push him up there. Man, I tell you, these guys right there, boom, get a little bump. Was riding along there with Spence Thompson. He got a little bump back there for old Robbie Buckner.
Yeah, that little 3-wide action there between Derek Robinson and the 19 right there. Derek just drove that thing down in there, went to the inside lane. Mike let him in because Mike doesn't need any more damage. And he's still sitting in a good spot here.
Yeah, absolutely. Folks, I'll tell you what, if you don't like this kind of action, well, go buy a donut and eat it in the corner, because I really don't know what to tell you. These guys, man, are putting on an awesome show.
Yeah, unbelievable racing by these guys, man. Just pressure on every single lap up here, and that's what I like to see, man. It's, you know, good, hard racing here. Nobody's really taking it easy, and if you're in the back taking it easy, you're missing out on some stuff up here. You may miss out on the end of the race.
Yep, you're right, and 100% there. You might miss out on it. Right now, though, if you look all the way back to the 18th spot, first car lap down, and 19th spot is DJ Hargrove. But you take it all the way back there, it's 1.5 seconds split in the field, so still close gap right here, and definitely can be. As we're riding along with Spence Thompson with the dash cam, kind of give you a good idea of what he's seeing out his front windshield, as he is right there on the back end of Terry Mason.
And as you can see right there, you can't see a thing in front of you. You just have to trust that guy in front of you, go with his line, and trust that he's making the right decision, the right move there. But you also have to be cognizant of the fact that 75, see right there, he could shoot down to the inside and leave you hanging. But you also have to know, if you're trying to go down there, that you're going to be clear.
Yep, absolutely. And here comes old Michael Redding. Like I say, when he feels like he's up front and has a car to stay there, you better believe he's going to do everything he can to put it up there and run, because, hey, he don't have Evil Knievel on the side of that thing for nothing. Definitely Evil, and he's got a bad, fast Evil pedal with a foot, man, pressing down on it. Right now, he's on the inside. Spence Thompson's on the outside with Terry Mason. They are still side by side and door to door down the backstretch coming here to turn. Now they're going to come up on a lap car here soon.
Yeah, and they don't need to go 3 wide for that. The 99 and the 818 of Derek Robinson were making some ground up on them right there. The 62 and the 2 wisely get back down as they realize they're coming up on that. So don't need to be 3 wide for that to happen. There'd be nowhere to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, look at the 2. He's flirting with disaster. He's trying to split that top and high side groove to break up that draft. You like a lot of trust right there. You're absolutely right, Chris. As we're seeing right now, definitely you got to have some trust. You got to know the guy in front of you. He has definitely got to be your dancing partner, and you got to put it all with him. Look at Spence Thompson upside. He's got to have trust that the 90 won't take that thing 3 wide on him, and will just try to stay his nose back there. Good job by the lap machine to get out the way on the inside. That is awesome on his end, and the Redding's around.
Oh, and the 75 is around. All the guys up front here getting taken out.
Wow, I don't really know what happened to Robbie Buckner. I think he just checked up, but Michael Redding, we're going to go back on replay and watch it here just to kind of give you an idea. Oh, a lot of cars, 2 up, 90s around, Mason's around. Looks like Mike Bruno might have got through it there, so he's probably like going, thank you, love that. But let's watch here, because yeah, that one kind of was odd.
The 90 was netcode.
Okay. Yeah, that one was kind of, wow. Let's go back here one more time on that. Caught it towards the end of the accident on it. Riding around here with Michael Redding. He had the 62. It just doesn't take much here. You see Mike Bruno, he's definitely, oh yeah, just a barely clip there. He went down low, and then yeah, the 90 got net coated all right in front of the 62. The 00 involved. Well, Mike T. Bruno sitting back there going, oh, you got to be kidding me. Cars up front up there getting taken out. Unfortunately there, you know, Ryan Daniels involved in it. 818's involved, 24 DJ Hargrove involved. Just kind of seeing it in slow-mo here a little bit, but a lot of cars. Look at Mike Bruno and them, they just stopped. Good move on their end. And again, I didn't see really anything done wrong there. Just plate track racing, basically.
It is just another example of, you know, how well the car drafts here, and you just get up close to that guy, not knowing what's going to happen. You know, you think you're off of him. Next thing you know, you're in him. So just super speedway racing, that's how it works out.
Yep, absolutely. And you're right. We, you know, just everything happens so fast. You got a thing, the cars are wiggling around, might try to go on the inside. Next thing you know, that car gets just a little bit of a run on it, and boom, he's there. So, hey, what's going on, Dre? How you doing? So we're under caution here. Should be caution number 4. Yep, 4 tonight. So not too bad here. Daytona International Speedway under the lights. Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. Well, Sim500 has been lucky and stayed out front all this time. Eric Tess is right there. And Michael Redden, even though he's still showing up there, but he's going to have to go in. But David A. Levine might be another one. Now, he's got a back end that's tore up a little bit. So definitely he probably could use his fast fix. Here's the thing. These guys have done a masterful job of long green flag runs. Although we're at lap 83 of 100, John. We know once it hits that 90 point, it's anybody's ball game.
Yeah, I would say by the time we take a green flag here, we'll probably be about 85. So we'll see these guys probably just hammer down then, because it's going to be on a restart. You can make up some spots there. Try to get, you know, a line going here. We'll see if 89 chooses to, you know, stick on that high side. He's had a lot of success up there, being up front and pushing. So we'll see how it works out for him. And we know that's a guy that's hungry to get into victory lane also in that 89 car.
Yep. Well, speaking of 89, let's get a talk with him. Spence Thompson, Joe White in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, I do, Joe.
Well, Spence, you're looking good out there in that 89 machine. You've been up front for most of it here, and actually have been dodging a few cars, because you've dodged the last couple bullets there and dodged that one that was up front. It was a big one there. So a lot of awesome, exciting racing. How's the car feel, and do you think you got enough to hang on for lap 100?
Car feels great, man. It's probably the best restrictor plate car that we've probably ever bought to the racetrack, man. This car is awesome on the top, on the bottom, almost everywhere we can put it. Sucks for my teammates that ended up crashing out, man. Me and Brad was working really well together early on, and got mutual support from him on the top of the pit box right now. Hopefully we can bring this thing home for him today.
Well, absolutely. We saw that earlier on. Looked good as teammates was riding along, so we were speaking of that because you were on the high side there, just working well. Normally you see a guy when he gets the opening, he drops down the inside, but y'all stayed together, hooked up, man, with the dancing partner up front. So, like I said, though, man, looking good, and it is Daytona, so anything can happen. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty, so to speak, here. So good luck, gentlemen, out there. See you at lap 100. All right, well, he feels pretty confident out there. He should. He's been up front for most of it. Dodged a lot of bullets out there. I think it's going to get very dicey. These guys are probably going to be door to door in inches going to the line here for the checkered flag. And who won your race, Dre?
Super Dave.
Yeah. Well, Dre Broadcasting. Check them boys out, man. Yeah, race over ExtremeMotorsports99.com Truck Series. I used to run in that series. And speaking of ExtremeMotorsports99.com, we'll be there tomorrow night for Xfinity Series. Me and Ryan Daniels up there calling the action. But not before. Well, John, you going to be there with me?
Yeah, man.
All right. Not before. Then we go to SRA for dirt. Right there at 7:05 Eastern Time. And we're at USA Speedway for the 410 sprint. So and then right after that, like I say, Xfinity Series in Atlanta. And then you'll be in the Cup Series there on Thursday night for ExtremeMotorsports99.com, running around Atlanta also.
Yeah, I'll be running around there trying to chase down old Jake Nichols and some of those guys over there, Bobby Cheney. They got a lot of good guys over there, man. I hate to leave anybody out. I just know them, seen them race a lot. So I mention them a lot, but not to take anything away from anybody else. But just a bad, fast group of drivers over there, man. You want to see some guys that know what they're doing and put down some unbelievable times. Check it out. It's great stuff. Just like you've seen here tonight, guys that know what they're doing, how to race around each other. Just great racing over there as well.
Yep, absolutely. When you talk about the Cup Series, got a lot of pro peak antifreeze drivers that run over there in that series. There's at least probably, I think, 4 to 5 or so that run over there, and a couple others that used to run in it. So definitely a good group of guys. Well, we're getting here to set stage, folks, as this one is the pace cars heading off in the turn forward, heading off in the pit road here now. Green flag in the air, lap 86 of 100. We got 14 laps here left of this. It's a thriller out here. Brung what you brung almost, and as Spence Thompson's out front, he's got his dancing partner Ryan Broddick's been able to pull it back up there. Mike T. Bruno on the inside. Eric Test, last night's winner, he's on the outside. He's going to need some help though, because that inside's got a form and a freight train going.
Yeah, a good decision by the 89 to get down there and work with that 32. He's got the 19 and the 7 down there, as well as Ryan Daniels running up front there as well, even though he's been around a couple incidents tonight. Ron's done a great job. Got to give him credit, man. He's here at the end.
Absolutely. Used his fast fix, got a clean car, so now he's hoping he can bring it to the end here. He's on the inside, hooked up to the back tailgate there, the 32 of Ryan Broddick. They are bringing those things to the front, bringing it to the front in a hurry here in the Toyota machine. That would be one happy kid, boy, if he could get up there and get a podium finish or a win here tonight. I know it. We'd be sitting here all night long talking, man, if he'd get a win or something.
I would leave team speak immediately. I would say, congratulations, I am out of here, because he would not stop talking.
Well, rightfully so, he should. I'll tell you what, right now he took a gutsy move right there. Took it to the high side. He took it up there with old Spence Thompson. Mike T. Bruno's back there in the back. I still think Spence Thompson, don't count him out on the high side. But look at Ryan bring it to the front here on the inside. Oh, David Heisen, oh, Eric Test right there with Ryan Broddick there on the inside. If I was Ryan, I would stay up there and let that 89 push me until the end of this race and not move.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, as we know that Spence has just had a great run tonight, being up front, good at pushing, also good at being the puller. You know, oh, and they get together.
Oh, no, and that's going to put an end to the night and the end to the night of a lot of great drivers, because that right there, folks, took some of them out. Wow. Well, let's go back on the replay here. Hate to see that. Hate to see that. Wow. Well, let's go back on the replay here. Relive what just happened right there, and I think our jinx is back. Watching the replay here, yeah, it just... He was square when he hit him, so I just don't know if maybe Ryan was just still loose or whatnot. It just... unfortunate. I mean, really unfortunate. A lot of drivers getting taken out there. The 5, the 22. I saw Tyler Justice get involved. I mean, to me, just an unfortunate deal here in plate tracks. I didn't see really anything there. You know, really from what I saw, that angle just looked like he hit him out of the turn. So, just one of those unfortunate deals.
Yeah, looking at it from the replay angles that I've got here, it looks more like netcode. I don't think that Spence got to his... He was right up there at his bumper, but I don't think he touched him. I believe netcode was the issue there. So
yeah, and I hate that, because, you know, the 07's out front looking very good. Ryan Daniels up there, you know, disappointed. But hey, you know, we talked about it all in the pre-race here, John. Danger lurks around every corner and every straightaway here. It's plate track racing. It's like a lottery, a crapshoot. You roll the dice. You got to have luck. Not, you know, I say no skill track. I mean, no disrespect when I say that, because I feel that there's a lot of luck that is involved here that you got to have. Now, he drove their car to the front. He put it in places he needed to do it, and he drove it up there and was in the right place where he needed to be to probably bring this thing to victory lane. It just was just an unlucky circumstance of plate track racing.
yeah, and I guess for whatever reason, the Xfinity car has a bad issue with netcode. I don't know what it is about this car, but you know, a lot of other cars, you know, the trucks and the Cup cars especially, you can get up there and bump a guy and be a little rough with them, but these Xfinity cars just don't handle that very well for whatever reason, which is terrible at a track like this, to have that incident, especially for it to end your race for you. But really no fault of anybody's right there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. You know, folks, you know, from that right there, I mean, clipping the guy in the rear quarter is one thing, but he was straight up on in the back bumper there. Just one of them deals. It was a bump draft, and then it just sent that car loose, and it was all over. Like John said, probably net code, a lot of played into it, and just a product of this car too. A lot of it. We've seen it a couple times tonight. Unfortunately, we've also seen the apron of the track. But you know what? Here's the thing: Outback might be the best place to be at this race so far tonight, because most of the wrecks we've had have been up front in the leaders.
Yeah, well, that's because they've just had so many cars up there and just been so racy up there. You know, they had, you know, really a lot of, I think, long green flag runs. You know, something that you don't expect at a track like this. But the guys have done a great job. But you know, here at the end of this race, you know, things get amped up a little bit, and you know, it's time to go, and you're not going to be as easy, you know, lifting or, you know, dragging your brake and whatnot like that. Here is, you know, when the green flag drops this time, you know, it's go time. So hopefully they make it all the way around. I'd like to see this thing end under green. But like I said, it's going to be tough, especially with netcode being, you know, coming into play, and just have to be careful with that here, and know that's part of it. But it'll be an interesting finish, though, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, you're right. Well, two things always throw out to people. Lap 100 obviously ends at lap 96. Caution comes out, that ends it. So Spence and company up there's got to keep that in mind. Although we've only seen about 10 cars here on the lead lap, so not a lot of cars. So this very well could end up going to the end here in the green, and then again, we could see all 10 cars get wiped out.
Yeah, go back to the unknowns of super speedway racing, and that's another one. You just don't know what's going to happen. So you just have to go and hold on, and hope that luck's on your side. You make a good decision, and just go with it. And you know, sometimes you're better off just sitting behind a guy and getting a good finish out of it, instead of really pushing the issue and trying to take a win. You know, everybody wants to win, but the goal at the end of the season is a championship, and you know, points matter. And I'd rather have a second place finish and good points than take a big chance here and, you know, finish, you know, outside the top 10.
Yep. Well, you know, speaking of that, we're looking here at Mike T. Bruno. He's sitting there in third spot. He got tangled up in that early on incident, had to use a fast fix. Been on the battle back up here. In the back of his mind, obviously he would love to win this race, but you know, what happened last night with him, do you sacrifice that and say, okay, do I try to just get all I can, or just maybe be a little patient at this point?
Well, quite honestly, where he's at, you go and see what happens. The problem that I found with this car is, you know, we see a lot of guys wait, that outside line forms up, and then coming off of 4, the outside line has a bit of an advantage coming to the line. But not in these cars if you don't have a lot of help behind you. So if the inside line has 3 cars and the outside lane has 2 or 3, then the outside lane's not going to be able to get the push that they need unless they're really locked together. And that's the thing about this car, is to make the draft really work for you to get ahead, you've got to be bumping, you've got to be together.
Yep, absolutely. Well, see, like Spence Thompson took that inside lane, and that's probably the reason is he's probably, you know, he's going to have Mike Bruno right there behind him, Eric Tesh also. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen here on this restart. Well, folks, button down the hatches. It's about to get interesting up front here. Like I said, about 3 laps, caution comes out, over with. Other than that, you know, about 7 laps or so till the green flag and the checkered at the end. So either way, it's going to be exciting. Here we go. Pace cars coming out of turn 4. It's going to set sail off on pit road and let these machines go to work here tonight under the lights at Daytona International Speedway. Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. Here we go. Pace car heads off in a turn, turns off into pit road, takes the hard left turn. Spence Thompson puts the hammer down. I like to say the metal pedal to the floor. Scoots off past the turn here. Look at Mike T. Bruno trying to form on the outside. Old Ryan Broderick's not going to give up that easily yet. He might not have a lot of help up there, John, going into turn 1, but he is definitely going to try to fight for his life.
Yeah, right now he's got no choice but to stay on that outside lane. Nowhere for him to go, no help behind. This inside lane here, he's got 6-7 cars formed up here to see with the 19 shoot to the outside. 89 thought about blocking, going to stay down there on the inside, going to have Eric behind him pushing him. But that 32's behind the 19. 32's been a great pusher tonight also.
I think I got a reason why. It's because here comes David Levine, the teammate of Mike T. Bruno, firing up there if I'm not mistaken. Eric Tess is a teammate. He's on the inside. But we saw last night, Eric says, look, teammates mean nothing when you're going for the win at the end. I won't wreck him, but I will definitely let him know I'm there and we're racing hard. Look at the side drafting being played now. Spence Thompson on the inside, Mike Bruno on the outside. Like you said, it's go time. Got Ryan Broderick hooked to his back deck lid. Man, it is a pushing finale up front.
Yeah, that outside lane is probably going to be where the speed is at. If that 59, the 7 can get up there, but see the 7 leaves a little bit of space there. Thought he was going to let the 59 back in, but he goes down to the inside there.
Yep, absolutely. They are glued to the rear deck lids of these cars right now. Here comes the 7. Well, he's a teammate of the 19. If he can get up there and help him out, and he's got David Levine. So they're all going to try to form that outside lane. Jason Burgess, though, hadn't talked about him. He's sitting in the 4th spot. Can come out of here with a good finish. Look at this, folks. Spins around. Ooh, no caution, but he looks
Not
like...
yet.
Yeah,
Caution is out now.
And that's not going to end it. We're not done yet. Wow. Again, that looked like the
Pushing
same thing
in a
with
tri-oval.
Ryan. Yeah. It's the same thing with Ryan and him, just bump drive. Which, hey, it's go time, folks. You don't intentionally want to try to push somebody through a corner, but you're not going to come off the corner or the bumper like you normally would at the end of it. But I believe we're going to be setting up for a green-white checker.
Yeah, I believe so. Since it came out there pretty much on the front stretch there, it should be going back to green here, probably a 1-lap shootout.
Yes. So, go get your Xanax, folks. Might need it after this one. Now what? You pray. Pray that you could, you've got the right partner. Because here really, we always talk about leader's advantage on the start. Really doesn't play an advantage here because you don't get that big jump out front like you would at other tracks. So the guy on the outside really is not at that much of a disadvantage because all these cars take a lap to get up to speed. So it really is, make sure you got the right partner, and it's go time. And be prepared for him to push you through the window.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're the leader, if you're on the front row here, the best thing you can do is have that car behind you on your bumper. You just got to hit your gears right and not slow up and get a big shove from behind. But you want that car pushing you because you're going to need all the help you can get here.
Well, I got a feeling Mike T. Bruno is going to pick that high side. What you want to gamble on?
I wouldn't pick the high side. I know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
I know why. But
that would put him and old Tyler Justice, man, nose to tail.
Yeah, but that just staying on that outside right there, depending on how things shake out. Like I said, the outside lane needs a lot of help, or you need a massive push out there. I think you're better off on the inside. If you want a race-winning type strategy, to me, that's the one to take.
Right. Well, where's Tyler Justice going? Oh, he was a lap down. He got the lucky dog. Never mind. I thought he was on the lead lap. My bad.
Yeah, he was a lap down.
I didn't even notice that. I'm sorry, folks. I was out trying to bring up the play. So now, well, I'm back to... well, either way, Mike Bruno's got his partner on the inside, his teammate. So either way.
Yeah, but inside to me is the way. That'd be my choice.
Okay.
I don't care
All
who's
right.
around me. I don't care if it's teammate or who. Inside is the race winning strategy for me.
Gotcha. All right. Good deal. Wisdom of John T. Wimmis here. He's taking the inside. It's going to be interesting. It's just... This is where restrictor plates gets very exciting and very nerve-wracking as a driver. Exciting for us, nerve-wracking for them.
Tell you what, the good thing is Tyler didn't look like he has a lot of. He didn't have any damage, so he'll be restarting back here and see what he can do there. I mean, it's a big track and it's got a long way to go. You know, work with the
True.
right people and get up there. But
I'm not going to say he couldn't come from 8th up there now.
well, you got to give credit to that 62 of David Heisler. He's been running up front all night long, been able to stay out of some things there. But you know, went and got his fast fixed that front end there, and been running up front again. So you know, another good super speedway run for him.
Yep, absolutely. That's the old Carl's Body Shop. Carl will be a busy man on the infield after this one.
He definitely would.
Oh, gotta love it. I like working with some of these sponsors. Well, we're going to see here at this lights go out on this pace car. We know definitely right here. What's going through your mind if you're that 96 and 32?
Well, in 96, obviously go be on the front row. Like I said, you don't need a massive jump here. If you do that, the guys behind you are going to just go around you and not really want to work with you. It won't be to their benefit here. So you got to make sure that you're not really holding them up, but just get a good shove from them and have them work with you here, and you just hope that they stay there. And that's the tricky part about all of this is you think, all right, I've got a partner here on this restart. Well, your partner might dump you in the next turn.
Yep, absolutely. Well, it's going to be interesting. All right, well, here we go. We definitely going to get a green-white checker. Wow. Well, you got to have some nerves of steel at this point.
Now they come around. We just got one lap here, so you got to make the most of it. This front row right here, and I believe that 32 is a really good pusher here. Question is going to be, you know, if he's going to try to make a move for the win here against that 19.
Yep. To answer your question, Bob, yellow's iRacing won't bring a yell out once the white flag flies. It's almost like NASCAR. They won't. Well, they did the last race. Really, they probably shouldn't have. But normally you won't throw the yellow with a white flag flying because it's pretty much the last lap.
And for the guys behind them, this is where you have to, you know, analyze what's going on in front of you on the restart, realize who the major players are that have a chance to win, and put yourself in a good position, you know, for a, you know, top 5 finish, podium finish. You got to realize that, you know, you can't be way back here, you know, 7th, 8th, 9th, and work your way to the front like that in one lap. That's a very tall order to do here. So you just got to do what you can do to make up some spots.
Yep, absolutely. You got a heart monitor going on back there?
And now I had my phone sitting here and it's making some weird noise. I moved it.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, here we go. Pace car's going to end. We're going to settle this one here. Pace car takes a hard left turn on pit road. Here we go. Green flag in the air. Going to be green, white checkered. This time by Mike Bruno puts the hammer down as they head off into turn number 1. Gets a good jump up there. Ryan Broddick's on the inside, hooked to his back deck lid. Here comes the 96 with the 23. He's going to need some push and help. and a lot of it as they're storming here. Folks, last lap, they're coming out of turn 2 down the backstretch.
He's at 32 doing a good job of pushing right there. The 96 doesn't have much help right there. 62 needs to stay on that inside lane right here and just keep pushing with these guys. It looks like it's going to come down between the 19, 96, possibly the 32 right here.
Yeah, they are. They are stacked up, coming into turn number 3 for the final time. Wrecking in the back. Mike Bruno's going to do this one. It is going to be over. Look at that. David Heisen gets turned. Holy cow up front, folks. Mike Bruno brings it to the front. And second spot, it's going to look like Tyler Justice is going to do it with Spence Thompson. But wow. Well, saw that one coming.
Yeah, and Tyler got into the back of the 59 as they were all checking up for the wreck there, coming through there, and looked like they were all checking up, and Tyler got into the back of the 59, turned him around.
Yep. Let's go back on the replay here real quick, because it looks like Ryan Broderick just lost it a little bit coming out of the turn there. Let's see what happens here. Let's watch it again here on the replay real quick. As they're side by side, the 32. He's on the inside there. 62's pushing him going down the back stretch. They're just getting a good run. 62 goes on the inside. Ryan Broderick's right there. Goes for the block a little bit. They head off into the turn. Oh, he caught the apron, and when he did, that car spun up the track. Took the 62 to 818. And, you were talking about Tyler Justice. Let's watch what happened to him on here, because but I know Mike T. Bruno's going, wow, you got to be kidding me, survived this one on it. But let's ride here with Tyler Justice through this last wreck here right fast before we go up here and watch the end of this one. The man who pulled it off tonight was Spence Thompson, sitting in right now I'm showing him in second. Yeah, he made it right through, and then, oh man, yeah, Seven just drove through him and said, see you later. And he went on the outside there and took the second spot away for right now. But my question is, did they give it to him? Because that would be I don't know. I mean, it's their call. But we know who the winner is. I mean, I don't know if they're going to... Right now, Tyler Justice second and Spence Thompson third.
Yeah, I believe the finish is official.
Okay, good deal. Well, then tonight's winner here, Mike T. Bruno. Man, got to be relieved. You know he does. Last night, had a bad, fast, dominant car, got caught up. It don't look pretty, but hey, he got it in victory lane. So, let's see if we can't go down here, because we don't have none of these guys in team speak, so we'll go down here.
Do it over the race chat here so we don't lose anybody tonight.
That's right. Good deal. All right. Let's go forward here and see if we can't get a word in with them. These guys are going to be very, very happy, I know. And right now, so let's get Spence Thompson.
Spence Thompson's John Wonders and Joe White to both get a copy.
Oh, yes, sir, John. Sorry about that. I was in the wrong channel. How you doing, man?
We're doing good, bro. That was a good race you guys put on there. A lot of action up front all night long. Unfortunate incidents here and there, but you found your way up through there and finished third, man. Tell us a little bit about your race and that wild finish there.
I tell you what, though, dude, it definitely was a heck of a race today for this 89 team, man. We unloaded the car, ran really well in practice, ran solidly in practice. Didn't really get the qualifying run that we would have liked to get. We kind of started mid-pack in the early part of the day, but I tell you what, man, they dropped that flag. This sucker took off right to the front, man. We can run to the bottom, to the top. That top really definitely seemed like it had a lot of momentum tonight. You don't normally see that at Daytona, even in almost any of the cars, but I tell you what, though, it definitely works in this one, and just can't say enough for all the guys on 89 AC Delco Chevrolet, man. They worked their butts off today. We had a hell of a race today. Led a good amount of laps. Had a misfortune there at the end with netcode deal with Eric and stuff, but I mean, it wasn't nobody's fault on that deal. Just stuff happens, but we were able to recover from it with a nice top 5 finish.
Yeah, unfortunately, we saw a lot of netcode there involved. That had the 07 in front of you there, another netcode issue there as well. But had a good finish for you there, 3rd place. You got anybody out there you like to thank?
Well, absolutely, man. You got to thank all the guys at WFO Motorsports Shop, man. Bradley Wilson, Zach Lindgren, Robbie, Terry. I mean, all these guys, they do such an amazing job, and we showed it here tonight. It's unfortunate that all the other cars were wrecked out, though, but we definitely showed that we had something tonight. If stuff could have went differently for us there at certain points in the race, but can't say enough about these guys on the AC Delco Chevrolet and at the WFO Motorsports Shop, and especially Bradley. He does a good job with this team as well, and kudos to him and Michael for running this league like the way they do, man. They do such a great job every single week. You guys up in the booth, you and Joe, you guys do an amazing job every single week. And yep, this good race for us tonight. We'll go get them in a couple weeks.
All right, Bud, congratulations, man. 3rd place, good point time for you there, and get a week off, and we'll see you in the next one.
10-4, John. Thank you.
Tyler Justice, John Wimber, still right to booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir. Got you, John.
All right, Tyler, man, once again, had a fast car tonight. Got involved a couple incidents there throughout the race, but I got to say again, that was an awesome race to call. You guys put on a really just one heck of a show there. A lot of hard racing up front with you guys. Tell us about your race and that finish there.
Yeah, we qualified, not too bad. I think we qualified around 10th or so like that, somewhere around there, 12th, I think. And I immediately dropped to the back at the beginning of the race. I didn't want to be anywhere near the middle of that pack because I knew something was going to happen sooner or later. And we hung back in the back for a while, and it got around 15 to go, and I told myself it's go time, so I started working my way up through there, and then got caught in that wreck. And I thought if I could get back to the pits, I could just use my fast repair, but as I was getting back to the pits, the motor blew up, and so I had to tow, and that took a good couple of minutes, and I went a lap down there, and luckily we were coming to 6 to go, and I got the caution and got back on the lead lap, but I didn't think I was going to be able to do anything there, but I got a good restart, shot the middle there, and passed a few cars, and the seas parted there with that wreck, and made it all the way up to 2nd, so congrats to Mike on the win, and got a 1-2 finish here.
Yeah, another good night for you. Watching up front there. Left on that one a little bit, but that's what Daytona's all about. And man, you got to be right place at the right time sometimes, and it works out for you tonight. Another good point tonight. So anybody out there you want to thank?
Yes, sir. I want to thank my whole team. Thanks Sim500 for being on the car once again, and thank Michael and Bradley for keeping this league going, and you and Joe up in the booth.
All right, Bud, congratulations, man. Good run for you tonight. Enjoy your week off, and we'll see you in the next one.
All right, appreciate it, John.
All right, Joe, we'll throw it to you, man. As we know you're going to a gentleman that's extremely happy with some bad luck he's had recently here, and I know we've said it over and over again, he'd find his way back in Victory Lane, but it didn't take long. It just took one night. Mike T. Bruno in Victory Lane.
Absolutely, here under the lights, Daytona International Speedway. Thriller of a race here came down, and the man, though, tonight's winner, Mike T. Bruno, redemption from last night. Had a dominating car, just came a little short there from his teammate, had some mishaps, was able to wheel this thing into victory lane. Mike T. Bruno, Joe White in the booth, you got a copy?
10-4, Joe, I got you, brother.
Well, I'll tell you what, talked to you early on, knew you had a bad car, got caught up in that incident early on, had to use your fast fix, came back from that, was mindful all race long, was very careful, and you was up front there at the end, battling it out. Take us through that final lap there when you saw those cars wrecking in front of you.
Oh man, my heart's been beating for the last 20-25 laps. It hasn't stopped yet, but when I saw that wreck happening, it sucked for all the guys that got caught up in it, but I was just glad to see it happen, man. To be honest with you, just like I needed this win so bad, you have no idea. But it's tough for everybody, man. Ryan Broderick, he helped me big time, pushing me to the front here. And sucks he got caught up in all my teammates, man. Michael, Jason, all them guys, they kind of got caught up in it. But to bring home a 1-2 finish, man, I can't be more than happy.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, 1-2 finish, you and your teammate right there, Breno, to bring it home after a little bit of mishaps early on in the race. But you definitely did. Tonight, winner here at Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. You're the winner here at Daytona under the lights. Got anybody out there you want to thank for that?
Yes, I do, brother. First off, I want to thank my sponsor, SimSpec, man. I couldn't do this without them. They're a big help to me and appreciate everything they do. Thanks to Broderick for helping me push in them last few laps, man, getting me this win. Thanks to all my teammates, man. Mike Redding, Tyler Justice, David Levine, Jason Alexander, Jason Burgess, and Eric Tess, man. These guys are awesome and wouldn't ask for a better team. And thanks to Mike and Brad for the league, and thank you guys for everything you do.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure and fun to watch you guys because y'all had a thrilling race all night long. It was side-by-side, door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel style action. Definitely not a dull moment here under the lights at Daytona International Speedway. But folks, give it off because tonight's winner here, Mike T. Bruno, powering the SimSpec PC machine to the front and the win. Redemption from last night, though, as he had a teammate win last night. Now he's putting it in there, 1-2 finish for the team again tonight. So again, congratulations on that win, Mike.
Thanks a lot, Joe. I appreciate it, bunch.
All right, John, well, let's get our results order here tonight because Mike T. Bruno does put it in victory lane. Tyler Justice right there behind him. Spence Thompson in third. Jason Alexander fourth. Michael Redding fifth. Jason Burgess sixth. Ronald White seventh. Eric Tesh in eighth. Ryan Broderick ninth. And David Heiser rounds out the top 10.
Got Derek Robinson 11th. Zach Lindgren 12th. Ryan Daniels 13th. Davis Richards 14th. David Levine 15th. DJ Hargrove 16th, Billy Hargrove 17th, Craig Lerman 18th, Terry Mason 19th, and Robbie Buckner in 20th.
And at 21st, we got Gordon Larson Jr. there. 22nd, Sawyer Ott. Bradley Wilson in 23rd. Jared Beasley 24th. Andrew 25th. John Barron 26th. With that said, folks, what a night. It was some awesome racing all around. Tooth and nail style racing. These guys, man, put on here at Daytona International Speedway under the lights. Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine. Wow, John, that's all I can say. Mike Bruno pulling off the victory. You got any final words?
It's great to see him get a win, man. I know he's been, real hard on himself and upset about how some things shaking out for him in a couple of races there. But that's it's just racing, man. You just pick yourself and move on. And what better way to do it than to get a win? So glad to see him up there. Good run by Spence Thompson, Jason Alexander with a fourth, and Michael Redding in the top 5 there. So good run for all these guys tonight, and just a heck of a race, man. I know we saw some big wrecks there, but just a huge pack running up front all night long, and those things are going to happen. But it was a really exciting race.
Absolutely, definitely exciting stuff up front. Loved every minute of it here. So, folks, well, if you like this kind of racing, we got more of it here at OSR Network. And definitely check us out because we're here live, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and all kinds of stuff here. And you can check us out online at onlinesimracingnetwork.com. Well, for the Grand National Series presented by MotorSim Racing Magazine, the Monday Night Thunder Boys, they were here at Daytona. We're off next week with them. So, but we're not done. Tomorrow night, SRA, we'll be live, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and all. But also the iRacing portal, 7:05 Eastern. You catch some dirt racing excitement action there at USA International Speedway. Well, with that said, we're going to shout out TN Designs, Racing Designs, and Graphics tonight. It was an awesome race. Saw a lot of paint jobs out there by them. Well, this is Joe White, and I want to appreciate everybody coming in and watching the race. Till then, everyone have a good night.